welcome everyone to TJ and the Grumpy Old Man, a twice a week all sports podcast that takes place every single Thursday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and every single Sunday at 8 p.m. 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you're new to the channel, welcome. We encourage you to subscribe on YouTube, to like the video if you enjoy the content, and also like on Facebook and follow on Twitter. Again, as I mentioned, it's a twice a week all sports podcast where myself, the Grumpy Old Man, and the magnificent Son X talk anything and everything sports. We talk NHL, NBA, NFL, MLB, college athletics, world football, anything and everything sports. I'm TJ, your host, and with me here, as always, is the Grumpy Old Man. They say there's no shame to his game because he's always the same.
That's me.
And also with us today is the magnificent Son X, a recurring guest on the show. Baby. Reoccurring guest on the show, Son X. How are you, Son X?
I'm doing well. About yourself? You know, X, I have a quick thing to say. You notice how TJ was telling the times that the show starts, and he even he almost choked the words out.
Oh, no, trust me, I heard.
I mean, it's 8 o'clock and 9 o'clock. It's always 8:30 and 9:30. The clocks not work where you live?
Grumpy, is your microphone hooked up?
Yeah, sure it is. Right here, see?
Scratch it real quick for us. It's not. You don't have it hooked in. There's a reason I asked that, because it sounded like you were coming in through the mic.
He accidentally plugged it into the milk carton as opposed to the computer.
He's running on the milk carton connection. Oh, good gracious.
You happy now?
Yes, it sounds much better. Thank you.
Close.
All we got to do then, we get X. It sounds like you've got no fan running today. Sounds good.
That motherfucker is running right now.
Yeah.
Oh, now I start to hear it.
Oh, you couldn't hear it.
Talk a little more. I start to hear it there, X.
Yep, I get him running.
Ridiculous.
Oh my God.
What are you over there eating? What are you eating? Like a box of candy or something?
I had a little mini Oreo.
He's a pig.
Oh my gosh, you're shoveling that damn shit down your throat and you gullet. It's supposed to chew your food, not swallow it whole.
That's why you see my jaw moving up and down. That's what that is, Grumpy, chewing food.
No, exactly. And he's wiggling his throat so he can slide down his gullet. He's going.
X, let me ask you a question. What happened if we would eat on the podcast? What would the
time? We would never hear the end of it. You know what? I think I'm just going to start making myself meals during the podcast. Some ramen and hot dogs.
Oh,
if you're going to eat ramen and hot dogs, you can do that. I'll give you a pass for ramen and hot dogs, but no other meal.
How disgusting is ramen and hot dogs, X?
I like raw. I mean, I'll eat. It depends. I have to be in the mood to eat ramen.
Okay.
I don't eat hot dogs with it. No.
The way TJ eats it, how disgusting is that?
I don't even think he cooks the hot dogs. I think he just throws them in there frozen.
No, hold on, X.
That makes sense. I believe that.
He lets them defrost as they slide down his throat.
No. Grumpy, that looks like something you would do, a glizzy guzzler yourself. Now, here's the thing, X. You got to go ahead and cook the hot dogs up first. Then you can cut them up and you mix them in once the ramen's cooked. That's how you do it, X.
Okay.
Anyway, today, got a lot of NFL news to talk. A lot of football to talk about.
Yeah.
Grumpy's excited. X seems to be mesmerized by the television set. But we're going to be talking
football. That's right.
We're going to be talking about NFL. A lot of NFL to talk about. We're going to be talking about the MLB. There's some big news that happened recently around the Major League Baseball. We're going to be talking about, those are really the two big topics here today. I don't want to give too much away of what we're going to speak about regarding each one.
I guarantee
there are going to be surprises for Grumpy and X.
Yeah, well, that's of course, because X, all the stuff I sent, I guarantee it won't. None of it will be on the show.
I sent TJ something. I wonder if the thing I sent him made it in.
I sent about 5, 6, 7 things the last 2 days. I bet you none of them make the show. Not one.
What did you
one of them was multiple things on the same thing, I will say.
Yeah, he does that shit all the time. He
about the same thing.
You know what it's like? It's like the kid where it says, hey, I need you to have a paper that's 2 pages double spaced. And he starts repeating the same sentence, just phrasing it slightly different each time. And he expects that to work.
Tyron, you can't speak, though. Grumpy did send you a lot of shit.
I included a good bit of it. Some of it was good. Some of it was shitty.
All right, well, let's get moving. Let's go. Come on, dive in.
Well, hold on, X. What did you want to include on today's show? I'm interested.
I sent you the thing about Steven Strasburg apparently retiring. from baseball.
Yeah, I included that. Yeah, Steven Strasburg, he did retire there from baseball, retired from the MLB. He sat out all of 2022, and now he's stepping away. He's done.
Which is it's just crazy because it feels like the Nationals won, like, at least to me, it feels like they won like yesterday. I know it's been a while since they won, but I remember he got that huge contract deal after they won. They re-signed him.
Try like 4 years ago.
Just
I know.
Just to let you know, X, I said TJ 13 things.
Lucky number 13.
13 different things, all different.
And you want to know what? If he doesn't talk about all of them, it's going to haunt him in his sleep tonight.
Probably will.
Yeah.
He gets so angry with us. Send stuff that you send. He's like, no.
I sent you a good thing. I sent you a good thing. You always say the stuff I send you shit. I thought that was good.
That's what he does.
I think Steven Strasburg, now that's a guy to where if he was able to stay healthy and pitch a longer time period, that's a guy who maybe has an argument to make the Hall of Fame. But
no.
What do you mean no? His wins above replacement for pitchers for the pitchers at the age of 30 was the highest recorded in MLB history.
Okay, he's not making the Hall of Fame.
I said if he stayed.
Coulda, shoulda, woulda.
Listen with your ears. I said that's an example of a guy if he stayed healthy and pitched longer, he would have maybe had a chance to make the Hall of Fame. But he didn't.
I keep on telling you, in baseball, you have to be good for a long time. The best ability is availability, particularly in baseball.
We don't live in the land of if, buts, and maybes.
There you go.
We live in the land of absolutes and facts.
Now, here's the thing. While I appreciate the Steven Strasburg stuff, I sent 13 items way better. Every single one of them way better.
That was good. I mean, he was a
really bad pitcher. I'm just saying, I sent some things with comedic timing. I sent some things like, oh my gosh, I can't believe that happened. I sent the death of someone, everything.
Yes, we want to talk about the death of a WWE wrestler.
I saw that Triple H, and I think who else? It was Triple H and somebody else, and maybe Edge mourned the death of him. And I think Edge had one of his last matches as well recently.
Yeah, Bray Wyatt, whose real name was Wyndham Rotunda, because he's from the Wyndham
that was
family.
the guy who did like the upside down crab walk thing, right?
Yes.
Wow, he died?
Yeah, and you think, died suddenly, and you see somebody dying at 36 years old. I mean, what do you think, right? Drugs, probably, right? Isn't that what you think? Well, of course, we hope it's not, but when you see somebody that young dying of something like that, and has been prevalent in wrestling, not as much as it used to be. And also, Terry Funk died yesterday.
Really?
Yep, he was I believe 79 years old.
Wow.
One of the from the Funkin' Dojo down there in Texas. He and his brother Dory Funk Jr. were both NWA World Heavyweight Champions back in the 1970s.
Hey, TJ, you cannot trash on this because this is the same exact quality the MLS is. So it's all scripted.
Oh.
Well, here's the thing. I don't like the WWE. It's whatever. I mean, I don't know. You guys like to talk about that shit. It's not fucking, sure they beat the hell out of each other. Does it take athleticism? Absolutely. But it's like a play. Imagine it's like a play, except you hit each other. That's it. I don't know. Grumpy, Grumpy goes through these fucking kicks, X, and you can attest for this to where sometimes he's like, wow, and he's starting to freaking watch everything WWE, and he's starting to do all that shit and give the old stuff. Give him about a 3-month time period, and he'll be on to something new, which is what Grumpy does. He'll maybe be watching old 1980s Islanders at that point. And they're in the dynasty era to go ahead and get him through the year. Grumpy, you're on a wrestling kick. Was I going to include talking? I don't even know who the hell that guy was. The last time I watched WWE match, it had to be like when D-Generation X, Shawn Michaels and Triple H were fighting together. Okay, that's the last
Generation X. Generation X.
That's the last time I watched a WWE match. Okay, so I can't speak about any of that stuff.
X, do you remember when we went to see the live in Charlotte, and post, and it was a pay-per-view.
Yep.
And post pay-per-view, they had D-Generation out there, and they were talking to the crowd, and they were telling girls to, lift their shirts up. And back then, the girls would do it. And I told X, now the warden, of course, did not want me bringing the boys to this wrestling event, but they had a great time.
I can only imagine why. Just finish the story. They'll tell you why.
And so, you see, like on the Jumbotron, girls lifting their shirts up, and it's on the Jumbotron. And I said, I said, Nick, don't watch that. And he goes, I said, X, don't watch that, X.
Look at this
X, don't
fucking
watch
guy.
that.
He's
X,
so fucking old. He's got old timers. Old
X,
timers.
X, don't watch that. And he goes like this. So he watched it. He just covered his ears up.
Yep.
How old were you then? Gosh, you had to be young.
Like 10.
Yeah, like 10.
That's before he made his legal name change to X, Grumpy. So you
That's
get
right.
it all mixed up, I guess.
Grumpy keeps effing it up.
Yeah, that's correct. He does keep effing it up. As long as it's acknowledged that it's not me and it's Grumpy's fault, that's all that matters. Anyway, so you wanted to talk a little bit about the passing. Obviously, you don't like to see anybody die, especially at a young age, but I couldn't tell you who he is. I told you the last time I watched a WWE match was like 10,
He was really good.
maybe 2 decades ago. So
Of the new guys, he was one of the. I'm like, oh, he's good. You could tell guys who were good, and he was good. He was really good. Would you not agree, X?
Bray Wyatt, yeah.
Bray Wyatt, yeah.
Bray Wyatt, yeah. He was. I just remember him doing that crab walk. He was creepy, and they
and it come out all dark.
Yeah, and he'd have the two guys with the lamb masks behind him.
And one of the other guys just died recently too.
Really?
Yeah. Now he died. I think it was natural causes what killed him.
Yeah.
I think I forget what it was, but he died very quickly. Also, it was like, holy shit.
Alrighty, we've spent enough time and energy talking about that. Let's
Oh
move
my
things
God!
on.
The tyrant has spoken.
We can move on. That's fine. Let's move on.
X preface this by saying, let's try to have this done in 2 hours. And you're over here talking about fucking WWE backup wrestlers who are dying. I'm like, come on.
We're
there's
not
gotta be a
backup
line for
wrestlers.
God.
He's not a backup wrestler.
Guy, but okay, continue. Let's go.
And here's the
The guy
thing.
who's doing in the background of his introduction, it seems like a backup wrestler, like a backup dancer or a backup singer. That's what he seems like.
No, he was the leader. Here's the thing.
Ooh, looks like we're backstage for
also-
the NFL Combine. Let's watch this. Go on.
And also, X said he wanted to have this done in an hour and a half, not 2 hours. So let's look. We got a food truck over here. Tell us, why don't you
That's not,
regale us?
no, not a food truck. That looks like a trailer, and then we're at like NFL Studios or something.
Okay,
Yes, Grumpy. This was one of the many things Grumpy sent me. This
it's actually pretty
let's-
funny.
Let's see.
Let's look at this piece of gold that Grumpy sent us. Grumpy, you better hope it is, Grumpy.
Why do you
'Cause I have-
minimize everything I send?
Go on. Let's say play it.
All right, everyone. Last season was a smash. Ratings gold, but this year's script has to top it. So welcome to the table read for the 104th season of the NFL. Let's get to work. Yes, Jalen.
I thought this was the dress rehearsal.
Oh, sorry.
Week 1, fourth quarter, 3:02 left. Jamar leaps up and makes a no-handed catch.
No hands. How?
I don't need hands. I'll just catch you with my abs.
We can call it the abracadabra. Might as well send the ball to Canton now.
What if we wrote the Mahomes character out of the script entirely?
Wrote him over.
Yes.
Guys, not cool. Who said that?
She did.
You're an actor, Patrick. Act like one.
Boring. What if we played shirts versus skins?
I like it, Kirko.
What if we replace my legs with actual wheels?
I love it.
What if Derrick Henry stiff arms a guy into
Would
another?
it be possible for us to get to page 2?
I think it's a good try.
Yeah, it's trying to slam and come back at everybody who says that the NFL is scripted and they make the outcomes of what they want.
For an NFL commercial, I thought it was well
I thought
done.
it was good too.
I thought it was well done.
I was about to say I like the thought behind it. I thought it kind of missed the mark a bit, but I thought like certain parts, it was just so disjointed. You got so much shit going on at once. You didn't really have a chance to let any of the jokes hit because it's like
It's a 1 minute. It's a 1 minute clip.
I know maybe they didn't need to jam as many of those things in such a short time period and actually develop
Well,
the joke.
maybe because you can. Maybe you just can't handle rapid fire conversation. Oh,
Yeah, it
tyrannical
just-
one.
Yeah, it's supposed to be like, oh, this is believable, right? Oh, this is what they're doing behind. It's just, I don't know.
It's
I
a
like
freaking
they tried
joke
to give it up.
commercial.
I just thought it fucking missed the mark a bit. I don't give a shit. You guys loved it. Whatever. Watch the commercial as many times as you want. Get ready because you're going to see a whole bunch of that same exact commercial for the next 20 weeks. So
There will be
I
a
hope
lot.
you're really excited to watch that commercial over and over and over and over again.
There's something else I just want to mention. As everyone knows, YouTube is picking up where they're like the NFL Sunday Ticket.
Sure.
They're taking over from DirecTV. They did an interesting thing this week where they actually released an 800 number where if you're having problems, you can call. What does it tell you? I think the first week is going to be disastrous.
Well, you're going to have to explain that more.
So YouTube released something, an 800 number, where if you're having issues with connection, if it's spotty, if it's lagging really bad, you can contact them and you get somebody from
any technical issues.
Yep.
I don't think they even have a phone number. I think maybe they just invented one for themselves. It tells me that it's like, okay, when they're running tests, things aren't going well. That's what it says to me. That's why I haven't gotten it. I'm like, man, I don't know. I just don't know how any of that's going to work. And I'm just going to sit out this year. I'll be interested. When did, in this day and age,
when you were saying help, I thought you were talking about like mental help where people had to call in because they were struggling with that's why I was Grump, you were okay. When you were
technical support.
When you were going ahead and building the story, it was kind of disjointed a bit, or maybe I just didn't understand.
I mean, the thing that sucks though about this is it's all going to be dependent on how fast your internet speed is. Right. So if you have slow internet speed, you're going to get shitty, laggy games.
Okay. That's how it's always been. Who does it stream?
No, it's not how it's always been.
No, DirecTV is not that. You wear that, right?
If you have a dish or if you have a cable box, it's not like that at all. You get it straight through cable.
Only cheap bastards who won't get cable or dish. Those are the people that have to struggle with that.
Also, my
cable's normal.
My cable's through the internet, but I have good internet.
Here's the thing. TJ watch a movie that's 2 hours long. It takes him 4 days because his shit will be lagging up and everything. I'm just saying, in today's day and age, who gives out phone numbers? You realize you got to go through hoops to find a phone number to call something out. No one wants to pick up a phone.
Yeah. A lot of staff.
I just think, are they having trouble behind the scenes with what they're seeing? It's a big project to have to roll with that
lawsuit thing that DirecTV has against YouTube or against YouTube TV in regards to. Oh, okay.
No, I'm just saying, for me, for them to do something like this, maybe with whatever tests that they're running, maybe they're saying things are not 100%. And so they had to put up an 800 number. I just think it's interesting.
That's not how that works.
Okay. Well, I'd be interested to see.
Could be worried about the bandwidth. They could say our bandwidth can take this many people watching at this time period, but if more than that many people watch, they understand. They have a certain. It's not like they're like, hey, we're giving test demos. It's not like you're riding a ride in Disney World, Grumpy, where you ride it around a few times to see how it is. That's not how that works.
Well, my thing is you got to think too, like how many people realistically use YouTube TV on the regular? If let's say they get another, I don't know, 400 million people who now tune in.
Well, not that many.
Or let's just say
400 million. X is thinking the entire. He's too busy watching fucking TV.
Let's say 2 million people, and I don't think that's a stretch. I'm going to tell you what. I watch YouTube regularly, and there have been times like, why is this thing? Why is it down all the time? Why is it lagging and stopping when everything else is working? Then I hear they're putting out the 800 number. It's going to be a clusterfuck next Sunday. You watch. And you know what? People are going to say, hey, what's going on? Look at all these issues you're going to hear Monday morning. You heard it here first.
Grumpy,
you heard it right here.
It's the same reason. It's the same reason why you lag when you do the podcast.
It's not
your
the same.
Internet's not.
No, because I can put.
I'm fighting with my rabbit ears. I'm fighting with my rabbit ears.
I could put on something else. I could put another streaming service on, and it's fine. But YouTube will just be down. And I think it's when they're trying to overload to get to try to, do like a pressure test, if you will, to make sure they can handle all the people coming in. It's going to be a cluster. You watch. To start, I'm not saying they won't be able to straighten it out, but I think you're going to see glitches the first week.
Okay.
Jesus Christ, Grumpy, come on. Anyway, I'm not as worried as you are about that.
What the hell would you care? You don't watch it anyway. What do you care? You talk about football, but you never watch a game.
That's not true.
It is true.
That's just not true, Grumpy. Anyway,
I'm watching the game right now.
Yeah, I know X is for certain. Trust me, I know that. Oh, God Almighty.
It's pretty good.
Anyway, so when you look at this season, Grumpy's obviously worried a little bit about that. I'm not. X, you have any worries about that?
I mean, I don't know. I really don't care. I mean, I have a feeling it's going to be a struggle when they first start. They've never done anything like this, whereas all the other companies have. They've all had some, like, think about it. Peacock has done Premier League games. What is it? CBS has done soccer as well, and they've done all college football.
NFL's way bigger than all those sports.
Well, that's
way bigger.
No, not Premier League. Not Premier League, but
way bigger audiences for NFL than Premier League games. Way bigger. It's the freaking NFL. Absolutely.
Maybe in this country, yeah.
That's all I'm talking about is this country. Why the hell would somebody in another country get freaking U.S. Peacock to watch Premier League games?
It's all the same thing. It's all run by the same company.
They're not run by the same
Sky
company.
Sports over there.
They're not run by the same company. X.
Broadcasting is different from spot to spot. It's like you can't
X,
watch.
Sky Sports
You actually can't
there.
watch. You can't watch Premier League on Peacock in the UK. Just like I can't watch Sky Sports here.
Right.
You know, I had to get a VPN, and I had to. I'm just telling you because I've been there before, and I couldn't watch any of the games like that.
So how are people overseas going to watch NFL games?
Probably
not
through
YouTube TV. So
Yeah,
you could have potentially all the people who in Germany who enjoy football and all the people in England who enjoy American football also hopping on there watching.
That's right. It could be a problem. When they're throwing out an 800 number, hey, call us if there's a problem. Guess what? There's going to be problems.
Fuck. All right, we're getting in shitty semantic talk. We're 22 minutes in.
I can't wait for it to be a problem. It's going to be the hugest problem in the history of sports.
Next topic.
I can't wait.
Next topic.
Jesus Christ, Grumpy. Anyway, let's continue on, right? I want to wrap up the rest of the baseball segment we've got there today. We talked a little bit there. Strasburg retiring. He's done. Shohei Ohtani tore his UCL. He is not going to be pitching for the rest of the year, but is going to continue to bat. Now, Grumpy, what are you laughing about with Shohei Ohtani?
Hope to continue to bat. That's his second UCL injury.
Correct. He plans to continue to bat. Now, here's the thing. I think he probably shouldn't pitch anymore.
Well, then he's no Babe Ruth.
He's better than Babe.
Not even
Maybe
close.
you could go back in the day and just lob some 65-mile-an-hour meatballs.
Well, here's the thing. He's going to I read up on this. He's going to try to get a second opinion to see if he needs surgery, because last time he had, because he's had this issue for months, and they give him like shots of some type of platelet rich bullshit that they shoot in there. But now they say it's torn. He's already had a torn ACL once, or a torn UCL once, excuse me. So, and the second time it's harder to come back from. I agree with you, DJ. I think this will end him as being a pitcher. And if he has that surgery in the offseason, he's probably going to miss a lot of next year as well.
Well, what I was thinking too is I'm like, this is significantly going to affect the type of contract he's going to sign.
Yes, sir.
As weird as it is to say that and to think of that, I think absolutely this is going to impact his free agency contract. That's simple.
He won't be getting $500 million.
Absolutely not. I mean, like, the thing that made you extremely valuable was, hey, you could go ahead and pitch as well as hit, and you're an extremely productive member of the team. Now you take that ability to bat away or the pitch away. It's going to hurt your value a bit.
I think clubs still look at it as he's a great marketing tool because, I mean, his merchandise sells like crazy in Japan.
Sure.
Yeah. Just like Ichiro's used to. And they buy his stuff. So, I mean, that would help defray some of that cost. But I think you might see some other teams get involved who maybe wouldn't have before just because of the price. So, I'll be interested to see where he goes this year.
I could see him staying, right? And like that news got released, and then shortly thereafter, they go ahead and come out and they say Mike Trout goes back to the IL, the DL, whatever the hell it's called these days. He went back to the injury list.
Pretty safe to say his productive years are behind him now, wouldn't you say? Yep. Was the injury?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's what, 32, 33 years old now?
He's certainly a Hall of Fame player.
Yeah.
But injuries, and that's what these guys
You
are
think
all.
he makes the Hall of Fame,
32.
I think he'll make Hall of Fame.
but he never
Probably
won.
not.
He won MVP a number of times. Though.
Yeah, but he never won a World Series.
He plays on a shitty team. I think he'll still get in. But you're seeing guys who are built like this, they don't last 20 years anymore. They just don't. Because of the muscle that they have on their body, they break down.
He just has had a bad year this year. I mean, all the way around.
But he's been banged up and hurt the last number of years. Missed significant time, Mike Trout.
He's getting older. I mean, that's what happens.
Well, he's 32. But what I'm saying, when these guys are all, they're all juiced. All right, I'm not saying they're on steroids, but I'm just saying they're on something because they're way too muscular.
Mike Trout's always been big, though. He's been big since he came in the league.
Every baseball player looks like him.
Yeah, now, yeah.
That's what I'm saying. You go back 40 years ago, guys were able to play 20 years because their bodies were limber. They weren't muscle bound. You see the muscle bound guys; those are guys who don't last. Just tougher. And I think maybe you're going to see this. How many guys now play till they're 40 years old, or even how many guys? Not too many.
Grumpy, he's an outfielder. How many outfielders play that long? Please, come on.
Who?
How many outfielders play that long?
Till they're
At a
40.
high level?
How many players, period, play till they're close to 40 now?
Pitchers.
Pitchers do.
Because they don't pitch as much as they used to. But not too many. Just a couple. Just a couple. Not too many.
Grump, please stop.
Got Verlander.
Okay,
Never
you have
have a 40.
Scherzer.
He's not 40. He's 39 or 30.
He's going to be pitching next year. Ding dong. Newsflash. He'll pitch.
Okay,
next
so you
year.
got two guys in the whole league, too. Okay.
CC Sabathia was in his 40s before he retired.
No, he was not.
He's not.
Never
I
made
thought
it.
he was.
No.
Well, how old was he? 38, 39?
Christ almighty.
Okay.
You
Might as
got
well-
pitchers who are pitching into the mid to late 30s on a consistent basis. That still hasn't changed.
Position players, the guys who were juiced up.
Oh. How long
Pitchers-
did Derek Jeter play?
If you look at pitchers are not really muscular. They're not. You
How old
can't.
was David Ortiz?
He was droided up. I think he played till he was 37.
Just hearing excuse after excuse after excuse trying to validate a point that's just wrong. That's fine. I don't want to get stuck too much in the minutia of this. I'm ready to move on. But it's just not true, Grumpy. Yeah, he's out. That's a big hit, right? I mean, like that.
Yep.
That's a guy who, again, fantastic player. Now, the reason I popped this up, I don't think I had a chance to actually read it for Grumpy and for all the older members of the audience here. Ohtani hit 171 home runs in the past 3 years and struck out 542 batters while doing that. Babe Ruth never struck out more than 3 batters in a season, and he hit over 30 home runs.
Babe Ruth wasn't a pitcher when he was 29 years old either.
He wasn't doing both at an extremely high level at any point.
He wasn't okay. He didn't pitch when he was 29 years old either. He pitched for a couple of years early in his career, and then they're like, nope, he's just going to bat every day. That's just the way they did it back then. When they found out how great a hitter he was, they're like, screw that, he's not pitching anymore, he's just going to hit. Times were different. They thought about things differently than they do now.
Do you think he would have picked up injuries if he did both?
No. He wasn't the guy on the juice. He was on the hot dogs.
That's why he was only throwing the ball 65.
And the beer.
That's right. He was on the beer.
I watched something called Facing Nolan on Netflix, and it was a documentary on Nolan Ryan. And I remember when they said that he was the first guy to throw over 100 consistently. And they said if they used modern technology, he was actually throwing 108.1. And everyone said, if you look at it, it's like, holy shit, that ball is on top of guys in a second.
Okay, Studge.
What?
He's not going 108 miles an hour. Please stop.
You never saw Nolan Ryan pitch. You have no idea what you're talking about.
How tall was Nolan Ryan?
I don't know. 6'3".
Let's see. Let's look it up.
He was put together. And
6'2".
they said
6'2".
he's the only. How tall?
6'2".
Okay. And I mean, you look at him. He was put together. I mean, and the one thing that everyone said that his pitches, and they talked to all of them, his pitches made sound. It's like, That's what I said.
It says that he recorded tales of Nolan Ryan's 108.1 mile per hour fastball in 1974, or Bob Feller's 107.6 mile per hour pitch in 1946 remain unofficial.
Yeah, because they didn't have the technology. They showed using the technology now. They look at a pitch that was 100 back then. Remember, they had a freaking jugs gun. Boop, 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 boop. Now it's way different. So, and they said right now, if you use the technology they had today, he'd be throwing like 108. I'm just saying. And if you look at that ball's on top of guys in a second. You should watch. Honestly, it was a really interesting documentary. I suggest people watch it. That's all.
I just don't think. Okay, it's just gonna be hard.
5,700 strikeouts in his career. No one's the next closest guy. Randy Johnson is 1,000 off the pace. That's how good he was.
If you put Randy Johnson back then, he'd be killing the Grump too. Come on.
Well,
I'm not saying anything. Okay. Randy Johnson was a great pitcher. Now I will say this.
He played during a more difficult era.
He was playing against all the juiced batters.
All the juiced guys, yeah.
Nolan Ryan was throwing against freaking Willie Mays and Roberto Clemente and Willie McCovey.
I would take I would take a
Reggie
juiced Barry Bonds, a juiced Sandy Sosa, a juiced Mark McGuire over all those players.
Barry Bonds is the best.
He threw harder than everybody else.
Eric Gagne was the best pitcher, and Barry Bonds was still dropping bombs off of him.
The best
His
closer.
ball moved. You know what? Watch the documentary, then come back and talk on the show intelligently about it. Because right now you're just a couple of loser millennials who don't know what the hell you're talking about. He couldn't possibly have been correct because that was years ago. The only thing that matters in the last 5 years, nothing else matters. Everyone else over 5 years ago sucks.
The steroid era, the batters, I think, were better.
We would have blown him. We would have blown the ball by him. Blown
Make
it by him.
contact and the thing goes out of the stadium.
They didn't make contact. He has the lowest batting average career. The batting average against him for his whole career, he pitched till he was 46 years old, is 204. Think about that. He pitched into the 90s. Think about that. Threw 7 no-hitters. Seven.
Sounds like good fielding defense.
Okay, there was something where he tore a hamstring the year that he broke Sandy Koufax's record for strikeouts in a year, which was 382. He had 383, and he had 16 in the last game of the season, and he tore a hamstring, and he's like, yeah, I felt something in the extra innings. He pitched like 11 innings in that game. It was a 0-0 game. He was throwing freaking BBs right to the end. Okay, the guy was
happens when I hear shit like that. You know what I think of, Grumpy?
You know what should happen? You should want to expand your horizons and see what the hell the deal's about instead of just dismissing it. You millennials are all the same.
Again. So what I think when I hear something like that, Grumpy, is I think to myself, it reminds me of hearing like, Bo Jackson once picked up a crab apple and threw it so hard he hit a pig in the head and fractured its skull in half. It's like hearing stories like that. I'm like, as cool as
these aren't stories. Go watch it.
It's an unofficial.
You can actually see what happened. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to expand your horizons. Don't be afraid.
It's an unofficial time.
That's correct.
It's absolutely official.
It's unofficial. I just read it to you. It's not official at all.
It's official now.
It's Grumpy official, baby.
All you have to do, all you got to do is run it right now. You could figure it out just using what the time is, just by how far from when it throws to when it gets there, just using it and say, okay, this is how fast it is because he's throwing from 60 foot 6 inches. That's all you got to do. It's freaking mathematics. A couple of you illiterate mathematical motherfuckers don't understand what the hell's going on out there.
You know what you sound like right now? It's like, hey, let's go ahead and we're going to time the guys running the 40-yard dash because we're going to look and try to time it on our phone when he starts and when he crosses the finish line. So we get that. It's not an accurate job.
If you time the guys today, well, you know, they have the electronic times. If you were just counting back in the old days with the stopwatch, or you just 1, 2, 3, 4, 4.5. That's how they used to do it in the old days. That doesn't mean that they ran it that fast.
If you put guys pitching like this back in the old days, say, wow, this guy's throwing 120 miles an hour.
108.
Whoa.
108.
Randy Johnson's throwing 150 miles an hour. He threw a ball so hard, it struck a bird and knocked all the feathers off, and that bird died immediately.
That's 100. That's 200 miles an hour.
That's a 200-mile-an-hour fastball he just struck that bird with, and that bird went boom and fell right to the ground.
They counted the feathers that fell off, and they're like, "Oh, 1 mile an hour."
Just
They looked
like I
at
said,
how many
watch-
lace
watch the
imprints from the
documentary.
bird.
All I'm saying is watch the documentary, listen to Cal Ripken Jr. and George Brett and all these guys, and you just maybe you'll get a greater appreciation for how good he is. That's all I'm going to say. That's all. That's all.
I'm just saying the speed. Babe Ruth is not in the same freaking conversation. It's like it's comparing apples to oranges. He's
That's
a
true.
pioneer of the game. He's a pioneer of the game. You can't take somebody from that time period and put him in air like this. You just can't do that.
You're right. The players today are nowhere near as good. They're always hurt. They're always out. I got a little ass ache. I can't play. We have to have load management when we pitch. No more than 100 pitches. These guys are throwing 150 pitches a game.
Here's my thing.
Why do you think? Why do
that
you
arm
think?
up.
Let's do this.
Why
Why do you
batting
think?
practice?
Why do you think, Grumpy, that they can't throw as often or as many innings as they've had in the past? Why do you think?
Because they don't train their arms to have that type of workload. They baby them.
Why do they baby them?
Because they're too. Because why do they baby them? I don't
Yes.
know. Probably because they're millennials like you. Oh, I got my fingernails cut. I can't pitch today. Get your ass out there and throw.
So
You know what?
why
Watch the documentary.
why they baby him? Why they baby them is because guess what? There's more injuries in today's games. Why do you think there's more injuries in today's games?
Because
It's not like people said, "Oh wow, I forgot how to go ahead and have." We lost all the mechanics that were involved with pitching. All disappeared over the
they
last.
don't pitch enough. They don't pitch enough. That's why
Because every single player consistently throws faster than they have in the past.
not every player does not consistently.
On average, players throw much faster now than they did then.
That's correct.
That's why, Grump.
All
Which
I'm
means
saying
more
is
stress on the arm.
watch the documentary. Maybe you'll have a greater appreciation for Nolan Ryan and the greats of the game. Because you look at it, Randy Johnson said, watch it. I'm just saying watch it, and then we can discuss. Okay?
Okay. Let's start looking at a few comments here. Drew L. Grumpy.
I'm watching all the NFL preseason games. The whole entire Steelers team looks amazing again. Arthur Smith is a joke. He's with the Falcons of a head coach, and Anthony Richardson looks serviceable, but not starter ready. I saw some of his highlights. He is not ready. Anthony Richardson, no, absolutely not.
You think
I'm not saying that he can't develop in something right now, and they named him the starter. It's going to be a long year for the Indianapolis Colts if he's the quarterback. Everything's behind, guys. His throws is the same. He's having the same issues that he had in college. Not very accurate. Likes to run the ball. First sign of trouble, he's running. He's not going to be that great this year. And I'm not saying once again that he can't develop into something, but he's not ready right now. He's only played 15 games in college.
He's only played 15 games. It's only really,
That's
I
it.
guess, that one season, that he played in, I guess, Florida.
He played the tail end of 2 years ago, and he played last year as a starter for Florida. Played a couple of games a year before, and then he was a starter last year. I mean, that's not a whole lot of games. He shot it because he tested so well. It's all about testing. I don't know. I like to look at what a guy actually does on the field.
Did you happen to see what he did after he threw a touchdown?
No.
No, it was a handoff. It wasn't even, he didn't throw it.
Oh,
It was a hand.
God.
He did the eagle thing.
Yes, I was about to say, if you saw that, I was like, Jesus Christ.
It was a handoff.
That's even worse.
Were they playing against Philly?
Yes.
It's like, dude,
Look at this
what are you
shit.
doing?
I'm sorry, it was a handoff. You're right. Look at this shit.
What are you doing? It's like, dude, this is
Might not make it out of
exhibition.
Philadelphia.
It's week 3 of the preseason. You're a guy who is a rookie. You know what? Honestly, this reminds me of. Remember when Justin Fields was like, "Oh man, this NFL quarterback shit's really easy." Do you remember what he was saying? Some shit. I'm paraphrasing, but you remember when it was early? He was like, "Oh yeah, man, this stuff was a lot easier than I thought it was going to be." And then he starts getting absolutely fucking tattooed because guess what? They pick up a little bit on your tendencies and they make you do something different. And he failed miserably. Do you remember when Justin Fields was saying that? Oh, it's way too easy.
I don't remember that, but I'll believe you. I just think I don't understand why he's doing that. And they say, "Oh, what a great guy he is." He's not a showboat. What do you call that? Your quarterback. What kind of quarterback does that? Dumbass.
Here it is. I was paraphrasing, and I'm glad I put this up because I don't want to disparage Justin Fields. This is the exact quote.
You don't like Justin Fields. I'm surprised you don't like to disparage him.
I never want to disparage anybody, Grumpy. Here's his quote.
Slow to me, to be honest. I think, I was expecting it to be a little bit faster, but, practicing, game speed, going at it with my teammates every day. And, of course, we have a great defense. So me going against them every day, it definitely slowed the game up a little bit for me. So, I felt comfortable out there, and I just, of course, I have room to grow. So I'm just going to try to get better each and every day. It was actually kind of slow to me, to be honest.
It's obviously they're just shitting on him, showing him getting destroyed that week after. But that's right. Oh, the NFL is kind of slower than I thought it would be.
He said he thought it was slower than he thought it was going to be, is what he said.
Yep.
Is that not exactly what I just said?
No,
it was pretty much what he said.
Okay.
You said it was too slow for me. You said it was too. He didn't say it was too
slower than what I thought.
Yes, that's exactly what he said. Just say what he actually said. You don't need to add your little inflections.
Grumpy, are you all upset because we're talking? We're going ahead and putting question marks on Nolan Ryan's supposed speed on his pitches. Is that why you're?
No, it's like dealing with just ignorant people. It's hard. It's hard. Grumpy. And his thing, they don't
unofficial time.
They just don't want to admit their ignorance. Or his thing, they don't want to even look at another point of view when you have the photographic evidence right in front of you. It doesn't exist because it's not in high def.
Well, Grumpy, I threw a 185 mile an hour fastball. Did you know that?
Well, none of your balls really reach first base. They
doesn't matter. It's still 185 miles an hour.
Worm burners.
I sped it up. I sped it up 5 times the speed of what it usually is, but it's unofficial, so I guess it's 180 miles an hour.
I'm just saying,
that's the same extent as that. It was not an official time.
Watch it. Just watch it. Hardest goal in the history of the game.
Drew L. Grumpy.
Shane, is that his name? Stetchen? Is a good play. Who cares? I don't even care who he plays for. He's a backup. Doesn't matter. We could ignore backups. Don't matter.
TJ's
built like a milk carton.
Ooh. I don't know what that is. Andrew, that's right. We'll mention this here again. If you would like to, we are having a fantasy football league. We're going to be having on ESPN. It's going to be a free league. It's open to anybody who likes the Islanders Never Say Die podcast, who likes TJ and the Grumpy Old Man. It is a free league. All you have to do is want to be active and to participate. We're going to be having the draft this next Sunday live during showtime.
This Sunday, not next Sunday. This Sunday.
I'm sorry. This Sunday. Thank you for the correction. This Sunday live during showtime. So instead of doing our TJ and the Grumpy Old Man show this upcoming Sunday, we're going to be recording the draft live. Wouldn't that be great? That's going to be fun.
And it's going to be at 8:00, right? You're going to set the draft time up at 8:00?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
So that means your ass is going to actually have to be on time because the draft will start at 8. ESPN does not run on TJ time.
You're saying it doesn't run on TJ time?
It does not. ESPN does not.
Do they run on Grumpy time? How about Lombardi time?
Regular time. If it's
7:45.
If the little hand is on the 8 and the big hand is on the 12, that's 8:00. Just to let you know.
They're running on Lombardi time, Grump. So email us at IslandersFansUnited@gmail.com. Contact us on Twitter, Facebook, however you want to, so we know to include you. I'm going to create the league tonight or tomorrow, and we'll be inviting you guys over the next few days.
I did want to mention one thing about backups. Just one thing. You hear that Trey Lance
is third string.
That's a topic of discussion they had for today. Now I know you didn't include it, but that was one of the surprises I want to talk about.
Okay.
You've got Sam Darnold, who's gotten in this position where he is second string quarterback ahead of Trey Lance.
I mean,
is that just really quickly? You look at the last preseason game they had. Trey Lance was out there in the third and the fourth quarter, and Sam Darnold was out there in the second and plus, and you had Brock Purdy out there as a starter. So I don't think it's really as much of a shock as what people would anticipate, but holy crap. What a terrible decision all of those trading up of draft picks was to acquire Trey Lance.
Jalen Waddle. They could have had Jalen Waddle.
they could have had, who knows, for years they could have had. They traded 3 first-round picks and other stuff to move up to number 3. I mean, initially the rumor was they wanted to trade up and get Mac Jones. They were thinking about trading up to get Mac Jones.
Yep.
And I'm like, I mean, but again, Trey Lance played 19 games in college at like a
North Dakota State,
and sat out the entire last year
at a 1AA school. And it's like, no offense, but you're not playing the type of defenses that are going to give a quarterback any problems. That being said, last year he was good enough to be the starter when the season started over Jimmy Garoppolo.
Mm-hmm.
And what happened in a year that he fell behind Brock Purdy? And, I know he got injured, but he fell behind Brock Purdy. And then Sam Darnold, of all people, comes in and he wins second string. What does it say about Trey Lance?
He's done. He has no future. Just like I said, they should have traded his ass in the offseason before he came back even healthy and just said, we're shopping him around because we 100% believe in Brock Purdy.
Yep,
we think we've got 2 fantastic quarterbacks, but we believe in Brock Purdy. They should not have let him show his warts in this year's preseason. And maybe
he has no trade value now. None.
No. Well, okay, let's say I think he still has more than we think because he's a quarterback. But do you think that – what do you think it would take to get a Trey Lance? 3rd round pick?
Not much.
4th round pick?
3rd string quarterback.
But if you remember, he's only what's he, 22 years old, 23 years old?
Yeah, but he's shittier than Sam Darnold is right now.
But if you're a team that thinks, hey, look at how long it took Jordan Love to be, viable as a quarterback for the Packers. He looked pretty bad.
Hold on.
They had Aaron Rodgers
viable yet as a fucking quarterback for the Packers. Slow your roll, Grumpy. Come on.
And they had Rodgers in front of them. You never got a chance to start.
Right, but they wanted to move Rodgers out, but he wasn't ready. And he didn't look good in preseason, Jordan Love. Now, he's looking okay now, and they certainly got all the eggs in his basket. But what I'm saying is, if you're a coach, if you're an offensive coach, and you think you could put work into this kid and maybe get him to be a viable option for you going forward, because he is young and he does have physical talent, I don't know what his issue is.
He can't throw the ball.
Well, or maybe he doesn't know how to read defenses, which is the biggest thing, right? You got to be able to read a defense. But don't you think you'd want to maybe just roll a dice, throw a 4th round pick at the 49ers to bring in a young guy like that who could maybe turn out to be something?
Well,
you could have traded him in the offseason and gotten more than a 4th. Whatever the value is now, it's lower than if they would have traded him in the offseason, which is my entire crux of the conversation we've had on the show before.
Okay, but he was hurt at the end of the year. He was the starter when the year began. He was the starter. Then he got hurt.
They knew after Brock Purdy put up the performance he did last year, he was going to be the starter. There was no way in hell they were going to bring Trey Lance in to start.
He didn't start the year as the starting quarterback. To begin the year, it was Trey Lance. Then he got hurt. Then Garoppolo came in. He got hurt, and then Purdy took over.
I know. What I'm saying is this year they fully were aware that they were going to have Brock Purdy be the number 1 quarterback.
Okay, but when they went into last year, Trey Lance was above Purdy and Garoppolo. He got hurt.
Hold on.
What happened in the interim?
The other guy earned the spot while that guy was hurt.
Yes.
Just like this. They should have, the Yanks, if they could have, when they had Mickey Mantle step up there at first base, should have flipped freaking Wally Pipp immediately. Okay?
Okay. Mickey Mantle played center field. Luke
dude.
Gehrig took over.
Luke Gehrig, damn it. I tried to throw an old Yank reference for the Grump out there, but I fucked it up. It's
Mickey Mantle played center field.
Lou Gehrig. When Lou Gehrig took over at first base, Wally Pipp should have had his ass traded, gone if he had any value. So, the thing is, they knew what they had in Trey Lance. This was their 3rd year. They had Trey Lance on a contract for 3 fucking years. The injury year was his 3rd year with the team. You know after year 3 if a guy has it or he doesn't. You know that. You see him at practice every fucking day. You know if you think he can make it in the NFL or not. You see Brock Purdy every day. Whatever quarterback you felt you had a better chance to win with, the other one should have been traded in the offseason. So when Brock Purdy was named the guy, you're saying Trey Lance, we're trading him because we can't put 2 quarterbacks on the field at the same time. Why are you trading him? We can't start 2 fucking quarterbacks. We've already got our guy. We happen to find him just by the pure luck of the draw. You can get the third overall pick who just got hurt, who was our starter entering the year. We're looking for some value, but we'll give you 2 on the cheap. How about a second-round pick or a first-round pick? Now you're saying maybe he's worth a 4th. It's just like you could have got more from him if you were smart and proactive. They just didn't do it. Their mistake, their loss.
Maybe.
Absolutely. Has he helped his trade value with the miserable preseason and now being named the 3rd starter?
I think being the 3rd stringer kills his trade value. I do. But I'm saying, wouldn't you want to, if you're another team, maybe you say, hey, let's roll the dice on him, get some film on him, get something.
It's poor asset management by the 49ers. The same thing that the Islanders struggle with. It's now poor asset management by them.
Without
they
a
gave
doubt.
up so much for him. They waited to hold on to show definitively he can't do it. And then they said, oh, well, now we're maybe going to look to move him.
Well, that's what happens when you're drafted 3rd in the draft. I mean, this is going to be his 3rd year in the league, right? I mean, you don't give up on the number.
4th, I believe. Or maybe it's the 3rd.
I think it's the 3rd. I mean, you don't give up on the number 3 draft pick after 2 years. One of them, which is
his 3rd year coming up. You're right.
I mean, you don't give up on a guy who's drafted 3rd in the draft after 2 years, and the 2nd year he was your starter and he got hurt. Something else happened. Maybe he didn't pick up the playbook like he should have. Maybe they asked him to do certain things in the offseason. He didn't do them. Maybe he didn't progress like they thought. I don't know what it is, but something had to happen. If you're the starter week 1 last year, now you're 3rd string. Something else.
After Brock Purdy had his performance last year, there was no way in hell he was going to be the starting quarterback. It was not happening.
The only reason
Darnold beat him out too.
Why would go TJ go?
The only reason Trey Lance was named the starter last year was because of where he was drafted the year prior. And they were giving him the job because that's what happens. When you draft a guy 1st overall, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, you're going to give him every opportunity possible to succeed because you're pissing away a lot of money in the guy. Just that simple. And the only reason that he was a starter was because they didn't know who or what the hell they had in a guy like Brock Purdy, who was Mr. Irrelevant. They had no idea he was as good as he was. They happened to stumble into Brock Purdy and say, holy shit, look at what we've got here. That's the only reason Trey Lance started. And they said, oh, we're going to hold on. Maybe Trey Lance is going to come back motivated. Maybe he's going to fix all of his inaccuracies. Maybe he's going to be able to read the field. Maybe he's going to be smarter in the pocket. None of that shit's going to work because guess what? He had 2 freaking years with the team, and he showed no progress in that area. None.
And he's another guy who's only played 2.5 games in like 3 years.
Yep.
Which
he's
is
got
like
no value. He is. I'd say he has limited value, and I think Trey Lance is a bust. He's just a bust.
But if you're a team who has maybe an older quarterback or is on the quarterback, like, I don't know, just name one, maybe a Denver or something like that, a Sean Payton, maybe you look and say, well, you know what, Russell Wilson's kind of old. Would you roll the dice on somebody like that for like some who could learn on the bench for a couple of years? You just said, screw it. He's not good enough.
He sucks. He's not the answer.
Okay.
Nope.
I'm not saying he is.
Wouldn't even piss away a pick on him. Don't wait.
San Francisco effed up by not trading him during the offseason, though. They absolutely did.
Yep.
Okay. Maybe they were expecting him to be more when he came into camp.
He was never going to start. Brock Purdy was going to be the anointed starter on that team after the performance he had last year. There was no way in hell he was starting.
They didn't even know if Purdy was going to be ready to go by
then
training.
You roll out. They already picked up Sam Darnold. The offseason, you roll out Sam Darnold for the first couple of weeks.
You realize that's why they signed Sam Darnold, because if Purdy wasn't ready, you had Lance and Darnold. I'm just surprised he slipped the 3rd on the depth chart. Something had to happen.
He sucks.
Okay.
He sucks, and they were freaking terribly late. They fell in love with the player they picked, and they stupidly let the blind love block them.
Nobody cuts the number 3 pick in the draft after 2 years. They just don't do it.
Trent Richardson was the 4th overall pick in the draft. Remember, by the Colts? How quickly
he was traded? He wasn't cut.
He was cut by the Colts.
It wasn't his second year in the league.
When was Jamarcus Russell cut?
He was there a few years too. 4. You don't trade away guys like that when you pick them that high. You just don't. I'm not saying it's right or wrong, but you just don't do it. You got too much money invested in them. And let's say somebody else picks him up and he turns into being a player. It's like, oh my God.
Well, they had Brock Purdy, who's already proven. So,
well, okay. Brock Purdy's played 5 games in the freaking league. So let's not say that Brock Purdy's or 8 games in the league. Let's not say
And he
that
has a
Brock
better record,
Purdy.
and he's played more games that has a better record than Trey Lance.
Okay, he's played 8 games in the league.
Trent Richardson was traded. You're right, Grumpy. I'll recant that. He was not cut. He was traded. He was traded for a 2024 first round pick. So 1 year, the Browns had him. They traded him away in the middle of his second year to the Colts, and the Colts gave him a first round pick. The 3rd overall pick within 3 years of being drafted was out of the.
Trade is not cutting.
My thing is, though, who would give up on the 3rd overall? Well, obviously, Cleveland gave up on the 3rd overall pick immediately. After one season, they said, see you later. You're not the answer for us.
But
it's like they almost knew how to evaluate what they had on their team. And they said, see you later. We're trading you. We're going to go ahead and trade you. The same thing that the freaking 49ers should have done with Trey Lance.
They didn't cut him. They didn't cut him.
They traded him. Oh, my fuck. Hold on. Are you not listening?
Dude, you're saying
I'm liking the situation to the Browns.
Saying that they should have traded him during the offseason. Is
he not listening?
He was the starting quarterback last year when the season started. He got hurt. It's the only reason he lost his job.
Oh my God. He was after they found out what Brock Purdy could do, he was never going.
Brock Purdy was 3rd string. Garoppolo played after that.
This offseason, they should have traded his ass. He had value this offseason until everybody found out he was shit.
But your reasoning is wrong.
What was it wrong?
Listen to me. Brock Purdy was 3rd string. When Trey Lance got hurt, Jimmy Garoppolo came in, was the starting quarterback. When he went down, that's when Purdy came in. It's not like Purdy outperformed everybody, and he played, 8 games?
Look at his numbers.
Talk about a game manager. Talk about Brock Purdy's a game manager. That team is low.
Here it is. Grumpy does not like Brock Purdy. That's why he is anti-Brock. No, stop before you have a chance to respond. You do not like Brock Purdy. You've made that known to us in private before. You are not a fan. You think he's overhyped.
All I'm saying is he's played to say he's great. He's played 8 games in the league.
I'm not saying he's great, but he's better than the other lying shit, the other shit they had littering that roster at the quarterback.
I'm not saying that he's not. I just want to know
how were they
something. Something had to happen with Trey Lance from the beginning of last year to the beginning of this year, where he's fallen so far that something has happened.
Brock Purdy outplayed him last year when he came in. He saved San Francisco last year when he came in, when him and Jimmy G went down. Then guess what? Trey Lance, maybe it's the fact that he throws 3 fucking interceptions every practice out of 4 passes. Maybe that's sort of like, you know what? This guy's not really good. Every preseason game that he's played in, he's looked like shit. Good playing against 2nd and 3rd stringers.
Like I said, I don't know. Something happened. I just wish. And here's the thing. But if they offer him up for a cheap price, somebody will trade.
Well, yeah, now they have to offer a cheap price because they could have gotten more if they would have offered him during the offseason.
But you're not going to trade him in the offseason because you didn't even know if Purdy was going to ready to play.
Sam Darnold.
Okay. Well, you can't go into the season with 1 quarterback.
They ran fucking Christian McCaffrey fucking quarterback 1 game.
How did that work out?
They won games stop. Under Brock Purdy, they had 7-1 record in the regular.
I'm not saying they didn't win games, but they didn't win games.
How many weeks realistically do you think Brock Purdy would have missed? How many? 1?
I don't know.
1?
He had with that UCL injury.
He would have missed 1 week.
I don't know. You know what? You don't know how a guy responds to surgery like that. You don't know. He got hurt in the NFC Championship game.
He does not like
that's like 8 months ago.
So in the regular season, he played and started 5 games. He threw 1,300 yards. He threw for 13 touchdowns and 4 picks.
Yeah, he's fine as a quarterback. All I'm just saying is he played 5 games. I thought it was 8. He played 5 games. It's like, oh, he's the guy. He played 5 games. I think it'll probably be a little bit more.
Okay, Grump, it takes 6 months to recover from UCL injury, so he would have had 3 months to train fully fit.
Okay, all I'm just saying, not everyone returns at the same time. You couldn't have traded Lance and just said, well, you had the question mark in Purdy, particularly around draft time. He got hurt in January? So you're talking about July before he can even start throwing the ball, right? That's 6-month time frame. You can't go into the preseason with just Sam Darnold. You can't do it. You need to have somebody.
You can bring on somebody else.
And with what they invested in Trey Lance, I see why they did it. I absolutely see why they did it. Retrospect, maybe it's a mistake. Okay?
They're getting
no
nothing
problem
back.
there.
Hold, X. Grumpy's getting ready to watch his YouTube TV to watch NFL Sunday
You're
Ticket.
buffering like a mother right now.
Okay. Grumpy, I just think it's flawed. That's fine. It's just a flawed thought process. They could have traded him because the crazy thing is, if you thought, well, Brock Purdy might miss 3 weeks. Well, if you could say we could turn Trey Lance and trick somebody maybe into giving up a first-round pick because maybe somebody's gullible or stupid enough to do that, and they believe in the next 30. Maybe we could trick somebody into a second-round pick because somebody was gullible and stupid enough to take a chance on a guy who was the 3rd overall pick 2 years ago. We could go ahead and trade him for maybe a second instead of maybe getting a 4th or a 5th now, and maybe you roll the dice that you have to start 2 games with Sam Darnold as your quarterback. You said clearly Jimmy Garoppolo won games. Brock Purdy, he's not that good. He's a game manager. He won games. All you need is
Jimmy
somebody.
Garoppolo. He's the same thing. Jimmy Garoppolo brought that team has been really, really good for a number of years. They're a quarterback away from winning the Super Bowl.
My point being is you could have started 2 or 3 games with Sam Darnold as your starting quarterback, waiting for Brock Purdy to get healthy. Your premise as to why they couldn't do that is
think of a third.
anyone,
any free agent.
anyone. Josh Dobbs, you could sign any free agent off the street. You don't know what's the likelihood that
operate? Neither one of you know how.
Oh, yeah, because
they're not
quarterback scenario that's going to be ready week 2. The guy that's going to be ready week 2, we got to have 4 or 5 depth quarterback pieces. Please stop.
This isn't the Houston Texans. This is a team that if things go well, they can contend for a Super Bowl. You're not going to say, well, you know what? We'll just go with Sam Darnold and some streety as a backup. Here's the thing.
Same fucking guy who says no reason to waste money on a backup. You're trying to win the fucking game. You're going to spend money on active players.
Football's a different game. Football's the injury rate is much higher in football.
Who is the backup for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers when they Super Bowl? Who's the backup for the Kansas City Chiefs who just won the Super Bowl last year? Can you name those backups because they're really good? Name them, please.
Ted Henne was the backup for Kansas City last year.
He had to play last year.
And Kyle Trask was the back. Kyle Trask and Blake Gabbert were the backups in Tampa Bay.
Blake Gabbert, yeah, they're super good.
Kyle Trask isn't even good enough to start on his team now.
All I'm saying is you can't just. It was so bad for San Francisco last year that they had to play freaking Christian McCaffrey at quarterback.
Because they lost all their quarterbacks. They would
have. That's my point. That's my point. You're telling me. And here's the thing: going into the season, Sam Darnold was just discarded by Carolina. No one thought anything of Sam Darnold.
Carolina blows.
Okay.
Carolina is a shitty run organization.
But Sam Darnold,
awful. They're not making the postseason either, Grump.
Sam Darnold flamed out with the Jets, flamed out with the Panthers, and you thought, well, we have Sam Darnold out in San Francisco. He's going to be great. We don't need another quarterback. You're absolutely fucking crazy.
For a week?
You're absolutely crazy.
No, I don't think you do.
They needed to make sure he would have been the starter if Purdy couldn't have made it back. That's why you don't trade Lance at that time.
For a week.
Not for a week. You don't know what happens.
Oh my! Yeah, that's what Brock Purdy.
You could have a setback in training camp.
He didn't.
Still recovering. Let's say he re-injures the UCL injury, and now you're stuck with Sam Darnold and no backup. Your
season's fucked because you don't have a quarterback.
This is a team that is built to contend for a championship now.
If Trey Lance was the quarterback, they'd be in the same exact situation if Sam Darnold, Josh Dobbs, or any other freaking shitty QB was there because Trey Lance fucking blows.
That's why I asked. Okay, you've never even seen Trey Lance play. Just stop. You've never seen him play a game. You've never seen him play a game. You've never seen him play a full game. You absolutely haven't. Okay, I know that for a fact. You've never seen him play a full game.
Okay? He's never finished a full game.
He absolutely has.
His first game. He's only played one full game in his entire NFL career. What do you say?
I never thought he was great. Okay. What I'm saying is, at this point in time, I would feel better if Trey Lance, from a San Francisco 49er standpoint, if Trey Lance, he lost out to Brock Purdy. No problem there. He's second string. The fact that he dropped behind Sam Darnold tells you something else is wrong. I just want to know what it is. That's all. It's not. Don't tell me that Sam Darnold has more ability than Trey Lance.
Yes,
Maybe
he
he
does.
can read the field
He
better than
does.
Trey Lance
Or
can.
maybe Shanahan just runs through quarterbacks like they're freaking water. Because how many quarterbacks has he had there? He's had a lot of quarterbacks.
Jimmy
year after year
Garoppolo
after
was the
year.
starting quarterback how many years in a row? Oh, wait. Thanks so much. It was like 5. So
But he was always hurt too. He was so good that he traded for Trey Lance. He traded up for Trey Lance. Jimmy Garoppolo was so good. I just don't think he's ever comfortable with the starting quarterback.
How is that
This
Shanahan?
is a fucking guy who turned down Tom
so
Brady.
flawed.
This guy turned down Tom Brady.
So Grumpy's upset.
there
So
it is.
Grumpy's upset with
There
that
it
and
is.
Brock Purdy. So there's
There
your
it
answer.
is.
I'm done.
I'm
We
not
could
upset
drop
with
this
Brock
topic.
Purdy.
It's
I'm not
I
upset
know
with Brock
Grumpy's
Purdy.
motive. I'm done with this topic. He's not rational.
I'm not
on it.
upset with Brock Purdy. All I'm saying is Brock Purdy. X is saying, well, Brock
This
Purdy,
is-
he's so much better. He's this, that. He's only played 5 games.
This may be
He's
a
won
worse
more
take.
games than the other guy
But
has.
I'm just saying, before you anoint the guy as the greatest, he's got to play more than 5 games.
He didn't lose a fucking
Played
game
8 games,
that he
including
played
postseason.
in. He didn't lose a game that he played in. He got hurt in the game that they lost.
That's right.
He hasn't lost. He hasn't lost a single
okay.
game.
Okay, they played a pretty easy schedule down the stretch too. They did.
They lit up Tampa Bay. They beat Tampa Bay. By like
Tampa Bay
31
sucked.
points.
Tampa Bay sucked.
They
Tampa
had
was
the best
a
one of the
team
best
last
defenses
year.
in the league
8-9.
before that.
Stop.
What are you talking about?
We already know the motive behind Grumpy. It's worse than his Babe Ruth take. So I don't need to continue to hammer on
Oh
this.
my
We're an
God.
hour in. Let's just
Okay.
keep moving on.
I have one more trade target. Jonathan Taylor has been granted by the Indianapolis
Are
Colts.
you running the show? What's going on here? Do I not?
just wanna bring
I've
this
got
point up.
this. I've got this on a topic, but go ahead.
Well, I figure while we're on the football trading thing, they've given him till Tuesday to work out a trade. What do you think that Indianapolis can think to get from him? I know that the owners asked for 2 first-round picks. That's not happening.
They're not going to get a damn thing for him. He had the worst year in his. He's not a great running back.
Oh, he's pretty good.
He's not a very good fucking running back.
He's pretty good. Come on. Led the
His
league in
first
rushing
year-
2 years
His
ago.
first year, he led the league in fumbles. 2 years ago, or last year, he led the league in rushing yards. In this last year, 2 years ago, he led the league in rushing yards. And last year, he played like shit.
He was hurt. He was hurt last year. You know how I know? He was
games
on my
did he play
freaking fantasy team. He missed. He was injured with that ankle all year long. He'd never been hurt before in high school or college, or the pros. And this son of a bitch, when I got the first pick of the draft, winds up getting injured and he missed most of the year. He still put up how many yards he put up? 962 last year, and he played on a bum ankle. He was hurt all year. That being said, what do you think his value is?
He has no value.
Okay. Why do you think Indianapolis should trade him or just say, suck it up, bro? You're under contract.
That's a good way to get nothing done. He
Yeah,
played
well-
11 games and had 861 rushing yards. He had okay.
So
He
he
was
averaged
averaging
80 yards a game rushing.
He had the lowest yards per carry, yards per attempt, yards per carry in his NFL career last year.
Well, that's because Matt Ryan was the quarterback and couldn't complete a pass.
Exactly.
It was 8 in the box. It was 8 in the box all year against him, all year.
That first year he came in, he was really freaking good.
Not really.
Oh,
He led fantasy in rushing. I think he led fantasy as the number 1 running back.
That first year, he had 1,100 rushing yards in 15 games.
What about the second year?
That's when he led the NFL.
Second year, sorry. my bad.
How many yards did he have?
1,800.
1,800 yards. All right. He's a shitty running back at 1,800 yards. Okay. 1,100 his first year. Okay. Whatever.
You
You
can
can
fumbling the ball all over.
you can try to sell that shit any way
you.
you want. You can try to sell that bullshit somewhere else, peddle it somewhere else. He's a good running back. They're never going to get the value of what he actually is as a player.
Why the Colts not want to sign him for an extension though? Why don't they want to go ahead and
He's not even up for contract extension yet.
That's where they're sitting at. He wants money. He wants more money. He wants that guaranteed money coming up.
Well,
They won't give it to him. Well, if the guy's so fucking great, why don't you give him the money? There's a reason, because he ain't that
Maybe-
fucking good.
maybe they don't believe in giving running backs big long-term contracts. He was a second-round pick for them. He wasn't a first-rounder. He was a second-round pick.
Just wait. I'll be proven right on this. I think he's an overhyped running back who's living off of one extremely strong year. That's it. That's what he
So
is.
if he's available in fantasy on Sunday, you're going to pick him or just let him go?
Depends on where he is in the draft.
Yeah,
It would be one of those where I grit my teeth if I have to get forced into.
Oh, yeah, grit your teeth on a guy who gets 1,800 yards rushing. Okay.
He's not an 1,800-yard rusher. He did that once. That is the peak. That's the high watermark for this guy. That's it. Doing good, Grump.
Sunx, Nicole Sherman said that it was sociopathic behavior that TJ was displaying regarding not listening to music and preferring silence while driving. Are you concerned, befuddled, or constipated?
No comment. I can't even start. Don't even know where to start. TJ's, that's weird for not freaking listening to music. So you just sit there and just drive.
I just drive in silence, man.
Wow.
Hey,
Yeah,
we took a drive, a long drive somewhere, and he put on some type of, I don't know, some type of drone music like the guy in The Accountant used to listen to while he was rubbing his legs out. I was like, holy shit, this is fucked up.
You know, and then I put on the highlights of Babe Ruth, and Grumpy got so happy. He
Woo-hoo!
said, "Woo, it's so good." Can I see Nolan Ryan? Can I see Nolan Ryan throw a fastball? He just threw 150
You
miles
couldn't
an
even see
hour.
it by you before you even saw it.
Now, this is something I want to talk about. Cardinals trade away Isaiah Simmons, right? Remember when he was drafted? He was drafted as a guy who was a tweener. They didn't think he had a real position. Wasn't athletic, wasn't quick enough to play safety, and then he was not big enough to play defensive end or an outside linebacker. Wasn't big enough, wasn't strong enough. They trade him away. They trade Josh Jones away as well for a 5th rounder. They got for Isaiah Simmons a 7th rounder. The Giants acquired Isaiah Simmons. I like that pickup for the Giants.
He does have a position.
Here's the thing. You're not going to have to utilize him as frequently. And you could just say, hey, I want you to be a spark plug as a 3rd down rusher.
Maybe you'll be like Jabril Peppers wound up being. You know what I got out of this? Besides, I mean, do you want to touch on the rest of the article first?
What do you mean the rest of the article?
Maybe they're looking to get Caleb Williams.
I think Kyler Murray blows, like I said, completely average quarterback. Not saying I was the first guy to say that before he sucked last year, but I was. And I'm telling you this. I do think they're in tank mode. I do think they want a new quarterback. I think Kyler Murray he's an asset that's at an all-time low at this point.
Well, how much salary are you going to have to? How much cap space you're going to have to eat to cut Kyler Murray? Because that contract is not tradable.
The thing with Murray, I think a lot of people are worried how he's going to come back since he uses his legs primarily, and he's coming off an ACL injury.
And he'll be back mid-season. He'll be back. Yeah. I mean, but they're not good. I agree with you that Isaiah Simmons, I liked for a 7th round pick.
That's a good
pick. It's worth taking a flyer on a guy like
Probably
that.
what they'll get for Trey Lance if
that's the same thing as Trey Lance. Same thing. He didn't pan out there. But the problem with Isaiah Simmons is he didn't have a position. I can't believe they drafted a guy who doesn't have a position as high as number 8.
Because he was a physical specimen. That's why.
He played really well.
Same reason is why Anthony Richardson got drafted so high.
Yeah.
Physical
specimen. He tested really well. He played well at Clemson. But again, competition in college is a lot smaller. They're slower and not as strong. You get to the NFL, they're stronger, they're faster, they're more athletic. So you can't get away with just pure athleticism like he was able to do. He's a guy who didn't put weight on in a massive amount to become a rush outside linebacker. He never would be a safety at the highest level. So he was just a guy who never had a spot in a position. So you're taking a guy who has all these raw intangibles, or he's got all these raw abilities. You're taking a guy who's got athleticism. Maybe the Giants, it's like, hey, ding dong, this is your last chance, buddy. Otherwise, you're freaking gone.
So, but you like the trade for the Giants then? And
basically
because he has the athletic attributes.
Defense is all reactionary. It's all based off of what you're able to do, react to the offense. Now, here's the thing. Good coaching can help with that. You're just literally reacting. When they put your hands on you like this, you do this. It's just natural. It has to be natural for you. Sometimes coaches are able to do that. If you're a quarterback and you can't learn the playbook, you're not going to learn the playbook after 3 years someplace else. If you're a quarterback who can't run through progressions, you're not magically after year 4 or 5 going to learn how to go through progressions. If you're a quarterback who can't hit a short freaking route to save his life, you're not all of a sudden after 4 years going to learn how to do that. You just can't do that.
You see, that's why I asked the question. I want to know what happened. We don't know the reason. I want to know the reason. But here's the thing. I'm going to draw a comparison between the two. They have the athletic attributes. Hey, you roll the dice for a 7th round pick. Maybe you get lucky. That's all.
Quarterback position is not about athleticism. Quarterback position is all about the skill. So you can get away with athleticism sometimes. Again, Quarterback, you have to be skilled. Got to be able to throw the football. Got to be able to read the field. It's a lot different than just
he
being
can throw
athletic.
the football. He can throw the football.
He sucks at throwing the football.
Oh, he's got a good arm. He's got a good arm. Kid's got a good arm.
Fuck.
I'm not saying he's the greatest thing. I'm just saying that for a 7th-round pick, I'd roll the dice on him. A young guy like that, he's 22.
Okay, hold on. Trey Lance is not 22 years old.
What's he, 23?
Trey Lance is 23.
23. Okay, he's young. He's young. He's absolutely a young player. He came out when he's 20.
Yeah, I'm not
He's a
taking
young player.
It's a waste. Anyway.
Okay, whatever.
Oh, and also, TJ sent you an email about the Fantasy League. I don't know if you saw. I did. Fantasy League. Email us, tweet us, Facebook message us. If you're interested, we're going to be creating the league and sending out.
Tell them where to send it to. Tell them where to send it to.
You could send it to, if you're away to Grumpy able to get to it. You could send it to Islanders Fans United at gmail.com. That's the email address. You could go ahead and send it there to, if you're Facebook friends with me, just message me on Facebook. If you're on Twitter, go ahead and I'll try to get on Facebook. I don't get on Facebook, but send it to us on Twitter. If you want to on that side. I get on Twitter probably more than I do Facebook. So shoot it to me on Twitter. I'll log in. I'll make sure I'll be on a lookout there for stuff. And on email is probably going to be the easiest way. It just keeps everything clean and crisp. So you got 3 different ways. I will check all 3 of the items. So if you want to send it to us like through the page there on the messenger, we'll get it. Drew says here, my little brownie is going to enjoy today's podcast. A lot of football. Gungun says, Grumpy, did Corey Davis' abrupt retirement put a damper on your hopes and dreams of the Jets finally returning to the promised land?
Not at all. I think he saw the writing on the wall. He's always hurt anyway. Doesn't matter. He was injured when he was in Tennessee, came to the Jets. He was always hurt. He was 4th on the depth chart. He was never going to play anyway. Wilson has taken his role without a doubt.
Have you seen how Aaron Rodgers looks right now?
Really good. Really freaking good.
No, I mean like what his optics look like as like what he physically looks like. You think this looks good?
He looks thin.
I think he looks emaciated. Kind of looks like
who he looks like
last year.
You know who he looks like who's at the end of their career? Brady.
Yeah, how did Brady play that last year?
Brady looked like that 2 years ago as well.
Brady was 3rd in the league for yards.
He looks emaciated.
Well, you know what? He's older. He said he learned from Brady how to take care of his body. Here's the thing.
Okay, this is a guy who's smoking ayahuasca and freaking taking shrooms and going to darkness rooms. Come on, please stop.
All I want to say is, I've seen how he looked in practice. Holy shit! Watch out! Watch out!
I think he still has a lot left in the tank. I'm just saying he looks physically he looks a little skinnier than what I want.
Looks like he's in really good shape.
When a guy gets hit,
he's not going to get hit. He doesn't get hit anymore. He used to get hit. He don't.
Famous last words. You heard that right here, right, Jets fans? He's not going to get hit anymore. No need to worry. I hope it doesn't get hit and snap some ribs in half or.
That doesn't matter. They got Zach Wilson. They got a backup. They could bring in Sam Darnold. They'll be fine.
They should go ahead and pay maybe Jimmy Garoppolo $500 million to be the backup. Huh?
Maybe they should take a flyer on Trey Lance. Get him. Pick him up.
Yeah, pick him up, baby.
They already have their version of Trey Lance. It's called Zach Wilson.
Let's listen to what Aaron Rodgers has to say.
Being able to win here would be really, really special. But why limit it to 1? I don't plan on this being a one and done. So I think we're going to be competitive here for a long time. I'd like to be able to play a few good years here and then hand it right back off to Zach and let him go for the next 15. And it'd be a really special, 18 to 20-year run of great quarterback play.
Okay, I will recant. Now, he looks much healthier from this angle. This angle's not a good look for him. Look how skinny his face looks. He still looks like he's well put together in his legs, in his body, his torso. He still looks well put together there. This angle, he looked like he was emaciated. So I'll take that. He looked emaciated. I saw the image of him, and I was like, holy shit, I got to go ahead and share this. I thought he looked emaciated from the face. But,
X, do you have any comment on this at all?
I mean, I think he just looks normal.
Okay.
I don't think he looks bad.
Aaron Rodgers. I just want to talk about something else about Aaron Rodgers. he has done everything right this offseason. Everyone knows who's listening to this show, I am not an Aaron Rodgers fan. I think he's been selfish, a total me guy, more interested in his his personal stats as opposed to winning. I still don't think he's a winner. He has said everything right this offseason. I have been so impressed with how he's handled himself this offseason. I really have. Watch out for the Jets. Another team, watch out for Pittsburgh. Watch out for Pittsburgh.
Yeah, I wonder who's the quarterback there.
I think Kenny Pickett has looked really, really good. I realize it's still preseason, but you know what? At the end of if you're going to ask me who's a better quarterback, Kenny Pickett's a better quarterback than Brock Purdy.
Kenny Pickett's a better quarterback than Aaron Rodgers. Kenny Pickett's a better quarterback than Tom Brady. That's right.
Aaron Rodgers. Oh my God. Aaron Rodgers has really. I mean, I'm dying to see him play the Giants tomorrow. I want to see him play. He has looked tremendous in practice.
Did you guys see? Now, this is a topic Grumpy sent me. I'm sure X didn't have a chance to check into this. Did you guys see what happened with Tua this week? I feel like every week right now, every show, it's just time to add in. Because Tua, I tell you, he just seems to be making headlines, whether in a good way or a bad way. He's just making headlines right now. Just is the case. I think there's a lot of eyes on him because of what happened during last year's season. And he's a topic of conversation, right? Like a guy like Kirk Cousins. He's not popping up in any conversation because he's just so meh, just vanilla bland, kind of in the background. A guy like Tua was put up on the national stage after the concussion item, and I think it's caused a lot more stir and people to talk about him. And he's had this back and forth now with the media is what it seems like. Now, this is what had happened. Ryan Clark, right? Everybody remembers Ryan Clark. The first time he, I think, got moved up, I guess, on the national stage, he was playing as a safety for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And I think he called out Tom Brady years and years and years ago.
Yep.
I think he got his ass whooped.
Yeah, but Brady didn't say anything. Brady didn't say anything till the game. And he threw like 2 or 3 touchdowns right over the top. And he's like, don't talk shit about me, rookie. And he just shut him down. But I do want to. I'm glad you have what he said. Do you have Tua's reaction as well?
Yeah. Yes. Okay. I've got it prepared. I've got all that stuff done.
Okay. All right.
So we've got here, right? This is what Ryan Clark said. I'll let you listen to it. I'll let you decipher how would you take this. So, I'll let you listen to it here.
5 for 7, 61 yards, and an interception. So rocky start to the game for Tua right there. Our team
got them tags.
Yeah, he did. Full sleeve.
Y'all think I bet because I've been hurt. I ain't tough.
I'm gonna tell you what he wasn't doing. He wasn't in the gym. I bet you that.
Come on,
he wasn't with me. He might have spent a lot of time in the tattoo parlor. He was not at the dinner table eating what the nutritionist had advised. Oh my! He looks happy.
Okay.
He is thick.
He's thick.
Yeah, he's built like a girl work at Onyx in Atlanta right now on the bottom.
Come on now.
Okay. Obviously, you could tell Ryan Clark's having a good time. Joking around is what I'd say. We'd classify that. He's throwing some jokes. He looks like a girl out there at the bottom working out. He's
got big ass. Big ass.
Exactly. His stomach looks a little thicker than it should be going into this year's camp. He's a little bit bigger than probably where he wanted to be. They're saying maybe he didn't put enough effort in the offseason. So now I will show you Tua's response. Tua responded to that. And I'm not going to say anything about his response, but we'll go ahead and listen to Tua's response here.
Sorry.
He had some criticism about you, saying that you didn't hit the gym in the offseason, you didn't follow nutritionist advice.
Yeah.
If he were here, what would you say to him?
He probably knows more about me than I know about myself. I don't know. Ryan's been out the league for some time. So, I don't know. It's a little weird when other people are talking about other people when they're not that person. So I don't know, it's just a little weird. I come back. I like my background is like I come from a Samoan family. Like respect is everything, but it does get to a point where, hey, little easy on that, buddy, because I think we're pretty tough-minded people, and if we need to get scrappy, we can get scrappy too. Just saying.
And now what's not included on this clip, what he says later on, is he says, I'd appreciate it if you kept my name out of your mouth. Now, I love that, right? Oh, it feels like he's trying to think he knows more about me than I do. Okay, my friend, Tua, you are a quarterback in something called the NFL, the largest sport in all of the United States. You are going to have people who are going to be commenting on you and commenting about how you play, commenting about your preparation for games, commenting about your successes, commenting about your failures. You are playing the sport, the largest sport in the entire U.S. You're going to have people, commentators, ex-players, average Joes like us here on the show, commenting about how you perform. You are a huge icon. You're like a rock star there, Tua. You're a professional football league player. I just can't believe, he doesn't see, he's not me, and here he is commenting and passing judgment. Dude, that's what they get paid to do. They get paid to have opinions.
The correct response would have been who? Who's that?
Oh. Ryan Clark. Yeah.
Who?
Okay. And then of course Ryan Clark, because
he apologized.
Someone put the freaking squeeze on him without a doubt. He came out and he groveled and apologized, which I think is ridiculous. He's paid to have those opinions. That is his job, is to have those opinions.
And Clark's response should have been, I'll keep my name out your mouth when you make it through a full season.
I'm just like, to me, if I'm a Dolphins fan, your team ain't winning. If this guy's worried about getting body shamed, his mindset is not on football.
Mentally weak, doesn't handle adversity. This is the other portion here.
I know there's a mixture of things that people don't understand, that people don't know about, that are talked about, that go behind the scenes. So, I'd appreciate if you kept my name out your mouth. That's what I'm saying. My background is, like, I come from a Samoan family. Like, respect is everything, but it does get to a point where, hey, little easy on that, buddy, because I think we're pretty tough-minded people, and if we need to get scrappy, we can get scrappy too. Just saying.
I have never seen. He's an absolute fucking bitch. He is an absolute fucking bitch. I love the teammates. They're getting all fired up. Oh yeah, you know what? Maybe it helps galvanize the troops a little bit.
It's just Tyreek Hill.
Yeah, I was about to say. Well, that's a good guy to have ready and motivated to go. I will say that. Now, here's the thing. He sounds like a bitch. Oh, you know what I tell him? Why don't you keep your name out of my mouth? Have you never heard criticism before in your life? You came in overweight. Newsflash, buddy. You came in overweight. That's fine, right? What happened when Leonard Fournette came in overweight to camp? I need to get my ass in shape. Yeah, I need to make sure I'm ready to go.
And he didn't admit it. I'm just, I'm in really good shape. I just, got a few extra pounds because the way I've been working out this summer. Yeah, with Wendy's burgers and In-N-Out burgers and McDonald's and every other damn thing.
Once he got his ass in shape, he's like, yeah, I needed to be in better shape. You fucking know when you need to be in better shape. Here's the thing. They got you. You were supposed to come in. You're supposed to be training your ass off. You're supposed to be ready to go, and you come in thicker than a sneaker. You got to be in better shape.
People have been saying that shit about Ben Roethlisberger for how many years?
Oh yeah.
Did you ever hear Roethlisberger come out and say, "Hey, you need to keep your name out of my"? I mean, geez, Ben Roethlisberger was like 275 when he finished his playing career.
Ben Roethlisberger needed to get his ass in shape. Could you imagine how much better Ben Roethlisberger would have been if he was in shape? He's another guy who just couldn't stay in fucking shape. He should have been in better shape. He should have.
All I can think of when you mentioned Ben Roethlisberger being out of shape, have you seen the video where they're doing like the drill and they're throwing the bags at him and they got to avoid him? And he's like he's like making it a joke. He's hitting every single one of them with the ball. He's not even trying to avoid them.
Ben Roethlisberger.
That's all I can think of when I think Ben Roethlisberger.
Now Ben Roethlisberger's a Hall of Fame quarterback.
Oh, absolutely.
True. Could you imagine how much better he would have been, though, if his ass was in shape?
I don't think
it wouldn't have hurt him if he was in better shape, right? We could agree to that. If he's in better shape, he's going to probably perform better.
He was a throwback quarterback to somebody who could have played in the 60s and 70s, honestly.
He was tough as nails.
Yeah.
He was tough as nails. He was good at reading the field. He stuck in the pocket. When he used to be skinny or mobile, he used to be a lot more dangerous too.
Right.
I was about to say, but when you're weighing 275 fucking pounds or 280, you're not running out of the pocket as much anymore. They don't have to worry about putting a guy in there to worry about your feet. So I'm like, you know what? It would have been better if Ben Roethlisberger was in better shape. How did Ben Roethlisberger respond to Ryan Clark or any sort of criticism? You keep your name out of my mouth. You can't be talking anything bad about me. I'm in the greatest shape ever. You don't know about all the work I put in. No,
he's just like, you know what? He didn't say anything. He didn't care. The fact that this bothers him so much, if you're a Dolphins fan, that should be concerning to you. It means he's not focused on the task at hand. And I'm not saying
small can go ahead and derail him. That's not what you want at a quarterback.
I mean, here's the thing. I think Miami's offense is good, good.
Great. I think they're great.
I mean, I think when he stays healthy, they're going to be good. I don't think he handles adversity well. I just don't. And that's something you really have to be able to do in the NFL, is be able to handle adversity from that position in particular.
You're supposed to be the most calm, level-headed person at the quarterback position. That's what you're supposed to be.
You know what it reminded me of? It reminded me of the movie Dodgeball at the end when Peter LaFleur said, "Hey, White, you're looking mighty fat in those pants." And he's like, "Oh, shit." And he fell apart, and Ben Stiller fell apart at the end because it's like, holy shit, my ass is getting fat. Oh, that's what reminded me of.
Did you ever see Tom Brady when people said stuff like that, saying, "You don't think I'm prepared? Hey, Tom, you're looking a little skinny this year coming into camp."
You know what he did? You know what? You talk shit about him. He didn't say anything. He'd come out, he beat your ass on the field, and he talks shit right to your face.
During the game.
During the game and after the game. Yep, that's what he did. You never seen him go to the press and cry like a bitch.
Excuse me, I'd like for you to keep my name out of your mouth.
He said stuff about, too, like Ryan Clark. Now, this didn't include everything. Now, there was a little bit of a longer clip. Kind of went at Ryan Clark a bit. Oh, yeah, I know he used to play in the NFL, but, I haven't heard of him in a long time. So he was taking a few jabs at. I'm like, it's just not a good look. Guess what? Because there are going to be other people, too, that might say something like that about you. They might have opinions.
Like the TJ and the Grumpy Old Man podcast.
Yeah, what do you think about the TJ and the Grumpy Old Man calling you a soft-ass bitch? That's it. I'm going to go ahead and put them in their place.
I saw something that was so freaking funny on YouTube the other day.
Oh, look at Grumpy, all this YouTube exposure.
I'm just saying, it's like one of those really short clips where they had a mom and a dad. It was a baseball game, and some little kid, he looked like he was like maybe 6 or 7. And somebody said, they were talking about something, and he said, "Oh, your pee-pee is as big as a Tic Tac." And then the kid says back to the guy, "That's why your mom's breath smells so good." I'm like, oh, shit. I couldn't believe it. And the mother's like, oh. I'm like, holy crap.
Oh, God.
That's pretty funny, though. It's pretty funny.
I was shocked, though. You're right about Ryan Clark taking it back. He's like, it was a joke. It was just meant to be a joke. Obviously, it was
everyone's laughing about it. It's so obvious a joke.
And he's taking shit serious over here. About what some commentators, somebody who has you know how often he's going to run across and talk with Ryan Clark here in the future? Never. He's never going to see Ryan Clark in person ever. I don't know. It's just a freaking load of shit. It's just, I don't know.
Now, X, somebody who knows Tua. Would you say that he's, a guy would take his shirt off his back for you, do certain things?
I know somebody who knows Tua.
Yes, who knows something about Tua when he was at Alabama.
What?
Fucking Grump, you no, stop. Okay.
I'm confused. Wait, what are you trying to get?
I'll talk to you about it later. We'll talk about you about it later.
I'm super confused.
Okay.
It's Grumpy probably just missing the mark per the usual on that. It just that sounds like you're missing the mark, Grumpy. That's fine.
Oh, yes. I know exactly what you're talking about now.
Okay.
Yeah. No, yeah, he's a piece of shit. Absolutely out for himself. Yeah.
That's all.
Somebody I know, I think went to was eating in like the players' cafeteria that they had there, and there was a volleyball girl who was at the school and wanted to take a picture with him, and he pretty much just said no, not doing that. Act like he was hot shit.
Okay, alrighty. This is the more extended clip here.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, Ryan's been out the league for some time, so
Oh, so his opinion doesn't matter anymore.
it's a little weird when other people are talking about other people and they're not.
You see how the first one that was more dolphin friendly excludes him, like he's been out of the league for a while. Why does his opinion even matter?
The first one it was in the first one too.
This portion about him being out of the league for a while was
absolutely was in the first video he played.
It was not.
Absolutely was. Not the second video played, the first one you played. It was.
Okay. Sure, Grumpy. Anyway, yeah, let's get back to comments here, Grumpy. Here you go, Grumpy. Goon.
Do restrooms in soccer stadiums in Italy have bidets or toilets? I don't know.
I think they just have toilets. I do know European bathrooms, though, they're stalls. Actually, they don't have like a exposed bottom portion or exposed top portion. It's like all the way up to the ceiling. So it's like more private.
Okay.
So
professionals wear sleeves, TJ.
That they do.
Your mic's shit right now. Fix your mic. TJ.
Was that?
Okay, now it's back to normal. It was awful earlier.
Drew says Jim Irsay is so dumb. He should have kept his mouth shut and just paid Jonathan Taylor. The Colts need him so bad. It doesn't matter. From what I saw from Anthony Richardson, it doesn't matter if Jonathan Taylor's there or not. Busy Boy says, I usually degrade and belittle my Brita filter after it has done its job also.
Do Snow Joes really do the job?
I have no idea what a Snow Joe is.
I don't know what a Snow Joe is either.
Oh,
is that like a coffee in the snow, like when it's snowing outside?
We tuned in to watch commercials, says Bussy Boy. Yes, thank you. Thank you there, Bussy Boy.
Bussy
says, Nick, there aren't 400 million people in our country.
Hey, I'm talking about the whole world.
His name is X.
The Germans,
I told him that's who. It's not
the Germans like football. The English like football.
Everybody who has a set of eyes loves football.
That's right. They're all going to be tuning in.
Yeah. The Drew L says, can't forget everybody's favorite quarterback, Perk Thuggins.
That's right. He's got the chain. Kirk Cousins, but he's got the chain.
Oh, Perk Thuggins. So, Drew L said, TJ, I don't want to hear you say that you claim Lance or trade Lance is a bust, because I said this after they I said this first back in December of 2021. Trey Lance is a bum.
But Drew drafted him in last year's fantasy league. Just to have full disclosure, he drafted him in last year's fantasy.
I can't believe this. You're like an elephant, Grumpy. I don't even know how you remember something that far back.
I got a brain, that's why. Gungu says, "Who do you Pilgrims think of the new Hard Knocks show thus far?"
I've watched honestly a minute of it.
I haven't watched any of the Hard Knocks.
I watched one episode, so I can't comment.
I probably need to watch more of it, honestly.
Charlie Morton could pitch into his 40s.
He could.
Rich Hill, says Andrew L. Gungun says, do you bold bastards remember the alleged Rex Ryan foot fetish videos? TJ, is it time to revisit / rewatch to see if we can finally get to the bottom of it? Grumpy may be able to finally crack the code. I do remember the rumors about Rex Ryan liking feet, but I don't.
Absolutely. There was a video of him talking about some foot stuff, and Wes Welker said something about it, and Belichick benched him for saying that. And the Patriots he wound up benching him for the first quarter of a game, and then the next play he comes in, he blows out his ACL. In the first play he comes in the second quarter, and that was pretty much the end of Wes Welker.
So this is not the first time Belichick has, I guess.
Oh yeah, no,
it's not the first time Bill Belichick has benched somebody because they said some shit.
Yes, correct.
Wow.
Now, this is ancient YouTube video. This was recorded about 12 years ago. So I hope the quality's going to be decent.
Heard all the trash talk coming from New York as they get ready to play the Patriots. And it seems, despite all the Jets trash talk, every Patriots player has been careful not to put his foot in his mouth. But foot coming out of their mouths, That's a different thing. Yeah, for everything, if you compare Rex Ryan to Wes Welker, they're opposites. But Little Wes is in some way made it known that he reads up on the Jets coach. And on Thursday, his focus was on football.
It's definitely a little bit different, especially, you got your foot up in the air and the swelling, trying to get the swelling to go down and things like that. When to go out there and just put your best foot forward. Well, I think we've had some younger players really step up this year. I think he's very patient. He's good feet. Tom trusts him, and they're kind of on the same page. And he's another guy who's great feet. You want to make sure that you put your best foot forward out there and making it happen. Really, just us go out there and being good little foot soldiers and make sure that we're going out there and doing everything Coach asks us to do. You definitely have to be on your toes and make sure that you're ready to go.
I knew it was one for something when he went.
Okay, so that got him suspended for a game.
Tell me that's not a great interview, and that was phenomenal of Wes Welker.
That's funny.
It was great.
Pulled the fuck out of him.
My God, look at ESPN. Holy shit, not bad back in the day. I like.
Yeah, they actually talked
right?
about sports.
12 years ago, it's changed a lot since then.
Yeah, it has. Oh,
it's unwatchable now. Honestly, it's unwatchable.
Yeah. Agreed.
Oh my God.
But I mean, I thought Wes Welker was funny as shit.
Was
good.
Good.
Belichick was steaming, but that's when he had Brady, so he could punish guys, and that's just the way it worked. You can't do that shit now. Ain't good enough to bench anybody now.
Hold on. I don't even think it was something Rex Ryan said. I think it's something his wife said.
Yes.
You with anything?
Oh, no, I'm sorry. I was just resting for a few minutes.
Oh, okay.
That's Rex.
Car trouble or anything?
No, not at all. I'm sorry.
Okay. Well, you don't have to put your feet in. You can leave them out.
Oh, are you sure?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay.
It's the Rex Ryan foot fetish and, from what it looks like right there, role-playing scandal. Deadspin.com posted 6 videos on its website, all showing the same woman who's a dead ringer for Rex Ryan's wife. Deadspin says it found the video on a foot fetish dating site. It was uploaded by someone with the username I Have Pretty Feet, and this person's online activity abruptly ended in 2009. Ironically, around the same time, Rex Ryan took the head coaching job with the New York Jets. Robbie, if this was Rex or his wife, why would they post it online? I mean, aren't they just asking for trouble?
Okay, shit. So that's the problem. His wife was posting videos.
The woman.
I have pretty feet, or I have nice feet over here. God damn.
I mean, but what Wes Welker did, I thought was hilarious. Certainly not suspension and fine worthy. Let me just say that.
Yikes. That's Bill Belichick over there. My God.
Belichick.
Mario Vargas said, didn't Ruth pitch a perfect game?
No.
I don't know.
Did he pitch a no-hitter?
Mario says here, Walter Johnson, I believe, is the first to throw a 100-mile-an-hour fast. Okay, Walter Johnson. Have you seen the way that motherfucker threw the ball? He was not throwing 100 miles an hour.
Probably 120.
His windup took 100 seconds.
It's like he was doing an alley-oop into the fucking glove of the catcher. Drew L says here, I know you guys hate talking politics, but honestly, the most entertaining thing last night was watching a Republican debate whilst watching the podcast.
I just wonder if people thought
good there. Glad you enjoyed, and I'm glad you enjoyed watching the podcast too. Goon Goon Grumpy says, what is an acceptable breakfast?
I don't know.
Pancakes or waffles and bacon.
Okay. Ooh. I just wonder.
What do you want for your breakfast, Grumpy? We're moving on, Grumpy. We're not here to talk politics.
No, I'm not. And I just wonder.
If you're about to. So
I just wonder.
Do we need to mute up?
I just wonder if people tuned in today, if they thought that they were going to see old Rex Ryan, Wes Welker foot fetish warfare. I'm just wondering.
Probably not.
Is this like the anniversary for it or something?
No.
Oh.
Gugu just has great comments, though. What can I say? Acceptable breakfast. I'm good with eating anything for breakfast.
The left side of the menu. That's what TJ.
If I'm hungry, I like to do this. Sometimes if I can eat omelets later on in the day, but if it's in the morning, I'm eating breakfast. I want some eggs. I want some toast, maybe some hash browns, and some pancakes, perhaps. You know what I also love? Biscuits and fucking gravy. Oh, buddy. Oh,
biscuits, gravy, pancakes, eggs, hash brown, toast. What else?
waffles, waffles.
I do love a waffle. Waffles
French
are great.
toast. Jesus
French toast is
Christ,
pretty decent
TJ.
too. Yeah, French toast is good. Sure.
Your grocery bill is probably like $400
just for breakfast.
D-Cut says Ryan pitched in an era where players were embarrassed to strike out 100 times a season. That guy strike out 200 plus times.
True.
Sure.
He'd probably have 8,000 strikeouts if he pitched in this era.
Bussy Boy says there's no kink shaming here. If there was, we'd be making fun of Drew and his love for hentai every podcast. What the hell does that even mean? And James,
I think Busy Boy is actually Pony Boy.
It's Bussy Boy.
Bussy Boy, Grumpy. You see how Bussy? There's 2 S's. James F says here there will be.
Otherwise, Bus is spelled with 1 S, right?
I think it's Tony Cheese is Bussy Boy.
Yes, Grumpy.
Okay.
It's Grumpy. X has barely been on this show, and Jesus Christ, this is a guy. That's right.
Old timers.
Old timers. James F says here there will be a Kobe Bryant statue for the Lakers coming in February. Good for that. They should be. Absolutely, there should be. For the impact he made, how great of a player he was. Absolutely, there should be.
They have a bunch of crazy stuff coming up for him. Apparently, they are releasing a whole bunch of his shoes on What's Not for like $1 or for like maybe it's $1.24 or something like that is what it's going to cost. And then also he's the cover athlete for the new 2K as well.
Busy Boy says, I wish I died in a helicopter crash so that they could make a statue in front of a certain department store.
They're making it. They're gonna make a Tony Cheese statue out in front of Target or whatever department store it is. Jewel said, could you imagine Tony Cheese over there? That Tony Cheese with his shiny head over there. What type of pose would Tony Cheese be in? That's the real question. Jewel said, I don't know if you guys heard, Donald Trump mic chat released. Yeah, I saw that. James F says here, the Mets finally are retiring Gooden and Dwight Gooden and Darryl Strawberry's number.
Okay. Man, they embarrassed the Mets. Both of them did, honestly.
Do Strawberry and Doc deserve to get their numbers retired by the Mets? And no Gary Carter?
Yeah, see, I think Gary Carter was more important. I don't know if they've not retired Keith Hernandez's number or not. There were a lot of guys in that era who were really, really good. Carter's a freaking Hall of Famer. And I don't think Hernandez is, but he won a league MVP. I don't know. I don't know. That's questionable at best.
Strasburg is retiring there from the Nationals. Yep, we talked about. Bussy Boy says here, I think if Lasting's Millage died, I bet TJ would cover it. But because because
he's a wrestler? Nope. Sorry, doesn't matter.
Yeah, that's right.
Elvis died. Doesn't matter.
I wouldn't.
He's a singer. Elvis died. He's a singer. Who cares? Doesn't matter. Michael Jackson dies. He's a singer. I don't listen to music.
Here's the thing. You know who? If Lasting's Millage died, I would find out from somebody else, or somebody on the show would let me know, and then we'd have to have a big moments of silence. That's all. Okay. I don't know. Was that X?
I said his career died. Should we have a moment of silence for that?
Yes.
I don't know. I thought Richardson looked okay, but not great. The Colts are going to be a joke, though. He's not ready.
He runs all the time.
He's not accurate.
Fans are big mad. Anthony Richardson owns their poverty franchise. No, I'm telling you one thing. Richardson just was so stupid. As a Giants fan, I love it. Let Anthony Richardson taunt those damn birds.
It's an exhibition game. They're not even playing any of their starters.
Yep.
Alexander says, hey, guys, are you ready for Jonathan Taylor to be Dolphin? Apparently, the Dolphins are trying to acquire Jonathan Taylor. Now, here's the thing. I think they wouldn't ask him to do a lot, and I think he would play. If he was on the Dolphins, I think he's a secondary piece, a secondary weapon on that team. And I think at that point, his numbers are going to be really good. I'm not saying his talent level is that of a really great player, but when you're so hyper fixated and focused on Tyreek Hill, you're focused on guys like Waddle, and you're saying, oh, shit, we've got to lay so many guys to play in the secondary, where now you go ahead and have so many wide open rushing lanes for a guy like Jonathan Taylor. I think he can really play well in that system.
Why would the Bills not go after him?
I don't know. I don't know.
The Bills are dumb. Now, here's Grumpy. You were about to make a comment earlier before I popped that up.
he won't get 1,800 yards playing for Miami.
No, they got a lot of touchdowns.
Now, I guess they'd run the offense similar to what they had in San Francisco, but they have better weapons than they had in Frisco. So, I just want to say to Alexander, he was telling us all offseason that Dalvin Cook was going to Miami as well.
I can't ignore, because to me, elevating it just like that is letting the Buffalo Bills off the hook. Last time I checked, we looked at Josh Allen and we said, yo, man, what's going on? You in an AFC championship game a few years ago. You and Patrick Mahomes was going at it. You were supposed to be the heir apparent and stuff like that. Stuff ain't worked out. You lose. Joe Burrow comes up there, goes to the Super Bowl a couple of years ago, last year at the AFC championship game. And instead of thinking about Josh Allen, we thinking about Patrick Mahomes and Joe Burrow going up against one another, okay? So you got Stephon Diggs, this brother all-world receiver, but clearly wasn't happy, walked out, didn't want to talk to nobody. They came into training camp. They had some friction. They had to get settled and all of this other stuff. Brother wants out, by the way. I'm just telling you what I know. I got my own sources. Brother wants out. He don't want to be in Buffalo anymore. He don't want to. I'm telling you right now. I have my sources. Stephon Diggs got to be there, but he would prefer to be gone because he's lost a level of belief in the Buffalo Bills. That's right. I said it's Stephen A, baby. I'm telling you what I know. Okay. They can deny, they can tell you what to do. I have my sources. I'm telling you what I know. All right. But he's not going to force his way out. He know he got to be there and they got to perform. But he ain't feeling the Buffalo Bills the way that he once did because he feels there's a window of opportunity that they may have missed out on. Josh Allen's got to show them that's not true.
What do you think about that? I ran across that clip and I thought to myself, if true, why would Stephen A number one lie? I would say that probably he's got some connections across the league. And that is also similar to what happened. Remember, Stephon Diggs did walk out at the end of last year. So maybe this is all true.
X.
Yeah, I don't blame Stephon Diggs for wanting to walk out. They've done nothing to make that team better.
Maybe the fact that he's making $14 million a year, $15 million
He wants to
a year.
win.
Those contracts are not movable.
I'm just saying, maybe he wants to win. He feels like that team's not a winner.
But where's he going now? He's not going anywhere now.
I don't know.
Oh, did you not listen? He's not forcing himself out.
No.
He's not happy. He wants to leave. You don't think that's a problem when you don't have everybody bought in?
Well, just play ball. I don't. Where is he going to go that he's going to get the amount of targets that he gets in Buffalo? I don't think there's anywhere in the league he can go where he's going to get the amount of targets he gets there. It's like
Kansas City.
They got Travis Kelce. Travis Kelce gets 150, 160 targets a year. He's not going to get that many targets. When Hill was there, he didn't get that many targets. He gets all the targets. Everything goes to Stephon Diggs. Everything. He gets all the targets. You got Gabe Davis, who was hurt all year. Who the hell else they throwing to? Dawson Knox was non-existent. They don't have a running back to catch anything. I don't know.
Maybe that's his issue is they don't have anybody else.
They don't have a running back. That's the big problem with that team.
Well, that's true.
Always has been. You're paying guys like Tre'Davious White $16 million plus.
Yeah, well, his contract just came up. That's why he got paid that money.
I'm just saying, right?
You don't get to renegotiate your contract.
You're looking at how you're spending money. You're looking at how you're spending money. You're going to notice here, there's a certain position that's not on this list for getting paid any sort of consequential dollar amount. Highest paid running back on the list is Damian Harris, getting paid $1.7 million.
What's Cook getting? The rookie running back, second year running back. What's he getting?
Dalvin Cook's brother, right?
He's not going to be getting a lot. James Cook is who you're talking about.
Cook.
James Cook, 1.3.
Okay. Yeah, I don't understand.
They're not investing in that position where it's I think the biggest position of need for them. I think their defense is stout. I think they've got weapons at wide receiver. I think they have a decent quarterback, a really good quarterback when he doesn't try to do too much. Here's the thing. The problem with him, though, is in a big moment, he tries to do too much. Maybe it's because they don't have a fucking running game.
Well, that's exactly right. But
they don't spend any money on the running back position, though. They don't in cap space.
They don't utilize the running game in big moments. The play call is Josh left, Josh right, Josh up the middle.
Sure.
That's the play that's going. It's not like he's audibly out of handing off to a running back. That's what they're giving him to do.
Oh, shit. He said he didn't even. Oh, yeah. I forgot Andrew said on the ESPN fantasy app, It says in the Islanders Never Say Die League that the league is not activated yet. Does that mean I'm ready or I'm in already from last year? Or if not, I sent you an email anyway. I'm going to be I'll probably make a new league, just redo it, because if like a whole bunch of people are not going to be active and playing, then it's like, hey, you've got to go ahead and kick them from the league. I'll just start over from scratch. I won't reactivate the existing league. I'll see what the interest is, and we'll make however many teams need to be based off of the interest. Yes, but sorry, Andrew, I totally forgot about that. I'm pumped up for Penn State football next week.
Okay.
Alexander says, rest in peace to Bray Wyatt.
Yep.
Christian Watson made Trey Lance. End of story. D-Cut says, Renee, Alexander, unless Taylor can play quarterback for the Finns, they aren't going anywhere. Noodle arms scrambled egg prank 2-1 is awful. Jesus.
I don't think he's off. I don't think he's awful. I think in that system, any quarterback, look at Brock Purdy, could be successful. Look at Jimmy Garoppolo. Any of those guys, even Sam Darnold, right? You can be successful. That's a real quarterback-friendly system.
Sure.
And I think Tua could absolutely do the job. The first half of the year, Tua was good last year. The problem is he can't stay on the field.
I think
that's the issue.
I think the big issue is it was a shitty pick for who the Dolphins selected as opposed to who they could have got. That's my biggest issue. You passed on Herbert to get Tua, somebody who's been hurt their entire college career. I think that was the wrong mistake. I think that's why he gets shitted on all the time. And I think that's why the Dolphins get shitted on all the time, is because they could have had Justin Herbert.
That's true. Correct.
Drill said here, I'll tell you the answer, Grumpy. The 49ers started Trey Lance because of politics. They traded 3 first-round picks, so Kyle Shanahan was obligated to start him. As you can see, he sucks dicks.
I don't think that's true.
And yes, Kyle Shanahan made the right decision. Both Purdy and Sam Darnold are better than Trey Lance. Trey Lance is an XFL quarterback. What's up, Frank? How are you? He said just got home for practice. The answer is because they originally wanted to move on from Jimmy Garoppolo, who was better, mind you, but Trey Lance sucks so bad that they had to play Jimmy again.
He got hurt.
He got hurt. Yeah, that's why the Jimmy G got put back in. Now, here's the thing. If Trey stayed healthy the whole year, Jimmy Garoppolo would have been given the spot back.
They were if you remember, they were trying to force Garoppolo out last year.
Yes, that's why they didn't start him. That's why
they did not want him on the team.
Yes.
So that's how much they believed in Trey Lance. And then Lance gets hurt and he's back in. Make that bald-headed jerk TJ watch Pride of the Yankees. Great movie.
Drew L says here, I'm going to be the same stuff with Jerry Jeudy too. He sucks as well. Yeah, he has a hamstring. He got carted off with a hamstring injury. He's
hurt.
a bust. Can't stay healthy. Bust. What's up, Johnny Mac? How are you? I think y'all tend to forget that Tua was in the MVP conversation, right? No, he was not in the MVP. Alexander, he was not in the MVP conversation.
Week 1 MVP.
No. Because says Ryan Clark from ESPN lit up Tua. Oh, God.
Yeah, he was in the MVP conversation, the most vulnerable person.
Oh.
Drew L says here, Will Levis is better than Trey Lance, in my opinion. Oh, yeah.
I don't think he's looked great.
I haven't watched any of Will Levis yet. I have not watched a single bit. Will Levis was going to be selected dark horse #1 overall selection.
I heard that somewhere.
I think I heard that too somewhere. Alexander says here, Ryan Clark is a dirtbag. I didn't think what he said. I played the clip. I didn't think what he said was bad at all.
He was joking around,
saying he wasn't working hard enough, eating the right things, and hitting it hard in the weight room.
Tua did look fat as shit when he came in. He absolutely did.
He looked like Serena Williams. He looked like Serena Williams.
We even talked about it on this podcast, how big he looked. And we're like, holy shit, he needs to cut some weight. That's all they were saying. He was joking around about it. Saying, yeah, he looked like a blimp.
Wow.
Oh, my God.
They were joking around with Ezekiel Elliott saying he looked fat as shit, too. When he got with the who the hell did he just
Cowboys?
No. Who did he just get traded to?
Patriots.
The Patriots, yeah. He was wearing like a sweatshirt or something underneath his uniform. He looked fat as hell. And they were making fun of him. Should he say, hey, don't post those pictures about me looking fat? I don't like that. No.
I gotta pull up the image now because he was looking large and in charge. That's the nicest way I'll put it. He was looking like his. Yeah, here's the fucking image, right? Okay, this is not Scream skinny or in good shape. I'll put it up on screen for you. The jersey is tight as shit. Here we go. Give me a sec. Okay, here it is. Okay. Alrighty. Hey, just everything looks tight on him, right? That's a Tua we saw where it's like, oof. He's not looking in good shape.
He's not in good shape there. He's not.
You don't even see the front side of him, but you know that's not good shape. For a professional, he's a professional quarterback. He looks a lot skinnier now. All it took was about a few practices in 100+ degree weather in Miami in order to shed a few pounds. But that is not good shape.
No. He didn't look big.
Yeah.
He absolutely did.
Oh, God.
Look at how small his arms look compared to the rest of his body.
He doesn't have any. Again, I'm not expecting him to have any sort of strength there, but he definitely did not. And, yeah, so here's another picture, too. It's just like there's so many of them where it's just like not great shape. Oh, my gosh. Here it is, one more.
Is he in a McDonald's in the next picture?
Oh, he's not in McDonald's, Grump. It's gonna be pixelated as hell. It's on some freaking form. Okay, I'm on April 14th. I am on a Miami page. Just take a look, see at that. That is not okay. Ooh. That is not good shape.
No, that looks like a fan. Is that a fan?
They're talking
he's got a belly on him. Maybe he's wearing one of those little ab protectors.
Look how his shorts are riding up in the middle. Look how his shorts are riding up in the middle of his legs.
Guess what he suffers from?
What does he suffer from?
Dunlap disease.
Dunlap disease. His belly Dunlap over his pants. He absolutely has a little muffin top going on right there. You can't say otherwise. He does zoom in on that shit.
It's really pixelated to begin with. You want me to zoom in further?
Yeah.
He looks like when you look at this guy, you don't say professional quarterback. But here's the thing: you don't have to look like a professional to be a professional. But I'm just saying,
15.
He looks like a guy who's just coming out of the tailgate party going into the stadium.
The guy who was playing quarterback.
He was all-time quarterback in the parking lot.
Well, no, his arm isn't strong enough to make the deep throw.
Tua will retire in a dark room with no windows from post-concussion syndrome by November.
That's not. For some reason, I think he's going to be healthy this year. Maybe
I hope he stays healthy. I really do.
Yeah, it's your positive outlook on it.
I don't want to see. I think he's going to be healthy the whole year.
If he gets hurt again this year, he needs to step away from the game.
If he has another concussion, he should never play another down of football. The money is not worth your your brain power. My God. How many concussions? How many more do you need? One more, you should never play another down. That's fine, man. You put it on the line. Don't put your health at risk.
But the way he responded to Clark, that he's even thinking about that. Somebody asked him, he's like, you know what his answer should be? I don't pay attention to any of that stuff. That should have been his answer. Just move on. He went on for 5 minutes talking about his heritage, the Samoan people. What he wanted to say is, Samoans are really thick-based people. He wanted to say it, but he thought better. It was like, oh, yeah. He thought about it, and then he had to go to somewhere else about the Samoan heritage. That's what he wanted to say because his ass was so damn big. That's what he wanted to say, but he didn't. Hey, he looks like Yokozuna out there.
Alexander
or Rikishi.
Alexander says the hypocrisy and hate is real. Oh my God. Just Finn haters talk, D-Cut. There.
What would we do if Tua stepped away from the game, though? Who would we shit on?
We'll find somebody else. There's always somebody out there.
It's low hanging fruit. It's fun.
It's easy. Believe me, there's plenty of guys out there to rip on.
We'll find somebody else. We'll find somebody else to make fun of. Drew L says here, I freaking hate Trey Lance. This is justice for Jimmy Garoppolo. He almost cost me $200 in fantasy football league back in 2021. Okay, there it is. Alexander says the hate is real. Oh my God, look at this. Stay salty Tua. Oh my God.
I never saw Tua. Okay, that is
That is
obviously
really good shape, Tua.
That's not him. That's like a fake picture of him. That's a slimmed down picture.
Is that him salting up his hamburgers and fries?
Oh wow.
Oh, Tua's brain after week 8. Oh no.
Oh wow. That's not nice.
Brock Purdy's a younger Jimmy G with potential to grow. Trey Lance needs to play some damn baseball because he needs to fix his throwing mechanics. He just never. Trey Lance is done. He's garbage.
Shit. Rubbish.
Buffalo needs to get their hands on Jonathan Taylor for a Super Bowl push this year. I think that would greatly help them. I thought that McCaffrey was the perfect fit for them, but they just wouldn't pony up what needed to be done.
And they get the 49ers gave up virtually nothing for him. Second round picks.
Yep.
Couple of seconds and a third for a guy like that.
Guy who still had it left in the tank too.
Still does too.
Yep. Grumpy, actually the first overall pick in your league last year, I took Derrick Henry. So you must have taken Jonathan Taylor at number 2. I remember that. Grumpy's got old timers.
I had him in my money league last year.
Grumpy plays like 7 fantasy football.
And he cost me. Honestly, he cost me last year.
How does Jonathan Taylor have no trade value? I think it's a lot less trade value than you believe. That's what I think. They're asking for 2 firsts. They're not even going to get 1 first.
And then you got to pay him. Then he wants to get paid. You're trading for him because he wants to get paid. He wants a new contract. Running backs have no freaking leverage. They don't like it. Tough shit. Get another profession.
New ones are drafted every year. So.
Play another position. JP.
Good evening. Good evening. I know I'm insanely late with this, but rest in peace to the great Terry Funk. Talked about him earlier. 5 decades in pro wrestling and a world champion. Always ahead of the curve as far as in-ring performance. He was good. Terry Funk was good. He was better when he was younger. You know, a lot of people remember when he wrestled Flair in the 80s, the late 80s, and he was just a shell of what he used to be at that stage. He actually helped the ECW get off the ground, just his presence. Alexander says, TJ, your evaluation of players is like, wow.
I know it's that great. I'm happy that you're in agreement there with me. And if his rink work isn't to your liking, he recorded the immortal song Barbra Streisand's Nose.
I do not remember that.
And we got here in 11 games, he had 871 yards. There it is. Taylor was a top 5 running back.
If healthy, he absolutely is.
TJ, by that logic, I can also say that Cooper Kupp is bad wide receiver because he only had 1 good season. He won the Triple Crown and he got hurt the next season. What are Cooper Kupp's
numbers? No. Cooper Kupp was good for a number of years.
That's what I was about to say.
He's a top wide receiver in the league.
Yeah, he had longevity too.
Yeah.
TJ sent you a fan fight on Monday. Okay, let me take a look here. Simmons is going to be linebacker number 2 with the Giants. That's why I like the trade.
But he couldn't play linebacker in Arizona. That's why they moved him to safety.
You heard their never mind.
I just don't know if he's a fit for anywhere on the field. He's like a freelance guy. He's like Jabril Peppers wound up being. Sometimes safety, sometimes linebacker, no position. It's tough. Alexander says, TJ and Grump, if your number 2 is Alan Lazard, then you don't have a good receiving core. That's fair, but I don't know if Lazard is the number 2 there. But here's the thing. Their running backs are good. If healthy, of course, if healthy.
You get Robbie.
TJ's the biggest hater on players known to mankind, in my opinion. TJ, was Aaron Rodgers on your fantasy team last year?
No, he was not. Maybe he was. I don't remember. Was he?
When TJ gets a hard on for a player, he never lets it go.
Absolutely.
Never freaking ever.
Aaron
He says he doesn't like the bag on players. He said today in the show, X, he doesn't like the bag on players and rip on them.
You both do. You both do, because you absolutely have prejudice against Brock Purdy. You do.
I don't have prejudice.
You do. You absolutely do. You hate how you're like, oh, the media gushes over this guy.
He's played 5 games. He's played 5 games.
So you don't fucking like him. You don't like him because the way the media talks about him.
Hold on.
This is the fan fight that they sent. Now, I think this is from the other angle. This is the fan fight we looked at last or Sunday.
I sent this in our group chat too.
Okay, you sent it on Instagram, didn't you?
Yep.
You send me every single day. You and everybody else in that Instagram chat send me 100 new messages a day. You think I have time to read 100 Instagram messages every single day? X?
I also sent you another thing of a wrestling fight video that broke out. It was a high school wrestling match.
That was pretty good.
Here's the guy right here who gets his ass rung.
He's smirking. He knew.
Not anymore. He's not. Oh, what's that camera on his face?
No, Jerry Rice, the guy with the towel on his head, was smirking because he knew. He's like, as soon as he took the towel, he's like, I'm about to beat the shit out of this guy. Watch.
Yeah. This guy, he was moving pretty well back there. But yeah, Jerry Rice did not fuck around. That's for certain. We saw the other angle. He just pummeled the hell out of him.
It was too close. Again, if it's landscape, you get to see better what actually happens. You don't even miss half the damn fight.
Watch this. Watch his face. Watch his face.
Yeah.
He knows about
Look at this guy right here. He's not too concerned anymore.
Oh,
this guy obviously,
he's already falling from getting tapped.
I was about to say he had a freaking glass jaw. This guy.
You can't hardly see anything.
Yeah, my God. Well, this is right on top of the guy. Jesus
Landscape
Christ.
it. He still hasn't hit him with the punch.
Oh my God, there was the punch.
That's the one right there. That's the one. He didn't hit him with. He only hit him with one punch, and then we don't even know about the other one.
He starts pummeling him.
He hits him right
He's
there.
missing. He's just grazing him. He's missing. He's hitting chairs. He's not really hitting him. He hit him with one punch.
Spitting up fucking blood, Grump.
He hit him with. That's the one punch he hit him with.
Well, it was good enough to make him.
I'm just saying, it's not like he hit him a bunch of times. He kept like this and this and this. Missing.
Because says he's on a carnivore diet. Okay, well, that's why he looks so lean. All meat and eggs, no carbs. Okay, well, there it is. But I say he looked really skinny in the face. That explains it. The Jets are not better than the Dolphins. I disagree.
Ooh, me too. The Jets defense is really good.
Honestly, I never understood the whole Kirk Cousins is mediocre thing. The real mediocre quarterback is Derek Carr. Derek Carr and Kirk Cousins are similar.
They both are mediocre.
I clump them in the same group, middle of the pack. Maybe they're upper middle of the pack.
Upper middle. I'd say upper middle. I don't know about Carr anymore, but Kirk Cousins is upper middle.
Kirk Cousins will play well a couple games, and then he'll be like, hey, by the way, I'm still Kirk Cousins.
Alexander Grumpy.
Ryan Clark is a dirtbag for saying what he did, but he apologized, and that's good that he did.
Oh,
He's
man.
paid. He is paid to make those opinions. That is his job. If he's going to apologize for that, shit, just fire him. He's useless then.
I think they forced him to apologize.
I know they did.
Yes, they absolutely did.
Guaranteed.
Ryan Clark equals smart man. Oh, I see that Grumpy is cultured. Bussy Boy says here, Ryan Clark really knows what he's talking about. He's such a splendid analyst. But he needed to apologize, and he did.
He didn't need to
watched the
apologize.
clip. Alexander, he did not need to apologize for that. Come on, man.
It's just the wussification of society.
X, read this one.
Two is a 25-year-old man with an 80-year-old's brain.
As I said, no, TJ, you're wrong. I'm sorry. Tua gets criticized more than any other quarterback in the NFL. And Ryan Clark, and for Ryan Clark to say that, it was wrong for Ryan Clark to say what he did.
I disagree. I just disagree with that.
I feel like Tua does get hate, but again, I think the reason why he gets the hate is because the Dolphins fucked up with their pick. They could have gotten Justin Herbert, and instead they drafted Captain Concussion.
He's always hurt.
Captain Concussion.
That's the truth. The guy is a fucking concussion every year.
I think he gets. I don't think he gets more criticism than other quarterbacks.
Okay, not media, but people shit on him. Absolutely, they do. Everybody shits on him.
Because if he falls down, he gets hurt.
Well, that's my point.
I don't think
That's why he gets shitted on.
He doesn't have a great arm. He doesn't, and they keep pushing him like he's great. I think he's serviceable. I think he absolutely is. In that offense, he absolutely is. He does not have a great arm, and he's freaking injury prone.
I wish I would have seen this earlier, but do you see who we got wrestling? Generation X. We've got Ray Masterio and Grumpy eating a glizzy.
TJ, you're in the stands there too, in the middle.
Oh shit! I didn't even see me back there. That's right.
I wonder if the cats are in there.
Yeah, no shit. The cat's right here. On top of Grumpy's hand.
Oh, look at that. Oh boy.
Oh, that's great. I didn't even see that. Oh, that's a good
How
one.
can which one is TJ's? Got to be the bald one in the middle.
This one. We've got Sun X, Ray Mysterio. We've got me. We've got Grumpy. And we've
How
got
come, wait, hold on. I'm looking. Why is TJ China?
Because he never wears sleeves. Oh,
I thought it's because he's a woman.
Oh, no.
He could have been either two guys down at the bottom.
I just noticed X does not smile very often in the screenshots they have of him.
Hey, the Rey Mysterio one is smiling.
This is not really a smile, X. Please stop. I do like the grumpy face.
Actually, he looks good with the mask on in this one.
It is
He
good.
fits right in with the That's absolutely good.
That's right.
Ray Mysterio. God, we have a few memes here from Drew. Uh-oh, hold on a second. Oh, God. Yeah, you know what? Alexander needs to join the Fantasy Football League, and he needs to go ahead and draft. Hold on a second.
You know he
Says
picked 2 in the first round.
Alex when he drafts 2 in fantasy. Ah, Jesus Christ, come on.
Oh, better luck next time, buddy. Woo!
There's that one there. First round pick. Oh, yeah, I think it's okay, hold on. There was a comma down. Oh, God.
Freaking mad! I'm so freaking mad! I mean, you guys have officially made me lose my marbles!
Now, Drew, I think, sent me something saying that this little kid, this was done years ago, is stepping away from all social media. Something like that, the little Sammy kid.
Really?
What was Ryan Clark's analysis on Tua?
Accurate.
Oh my gosh. I've mispronounced plenty of words too, so I'll let it slide there, DJ Khaled.
We the best. Did you see the video of DJ Khaled where he actually got out of his car and held up freaking traffic in the middle of the street? He got out of his car and was trying to hold up cars from moving. He was dancing in the middle of the street.
Why did somebody just run him over?
Because they didn't want that damage done to their car.
Okay.
It's like hitting a big deer. Bussy
Busy
boy.
boy. Tell him, TJ, 2 equals bit.
Tua said,
that's
I'm
a
not
little
fat, I'm just bulking. Stop being threatened to scrap your way. Stop
being threatening to scrap when you're a head hitting the cabinet away from wearing the days of the week on your wrist.
Oh my
God. Positive, baby.
Oh my God. He got grumpy. Drew.
You know who is in shape? Yes, this is reported. Daniel Jones. TJ is now triggered.
Oh God.
I'll be interested to see how Daniel Jones plays
Yes.
Saturday night against the Jets. I'm absolutely interested. He looked good for the drive that he played against the Carolina Panthers. I thought he threw a nice ball, hit guys in stride. I'm interested to see if he progresses this year. It's his 4th year in the league. He's in his prime now, right? Alexander says, oh, my God, Tua is not fat, like seriously. Well, not compared to me and TJ, but compared to NFL players, absolutely is.
Alexander there says, it's not concerning me because I'm tired of all the Tua slander. And he finally stood up and he said, enough is enough.
Oh,
are you kidding me? Tua has never come out and defended himself, and he's never responded to nobody until now. Stop it, guys! Another terrible take by you guys on Tua.
Okay, you want to know the reason why? Because most of the times people talk about Tua, he's in concussion protocol, and they don't let you speak to the press if you're in concussion protocol.
It's this, okay. We have a common rule. Anytime that a player like Anthony Rendon gets heckled by a fan or somebody who's just sitting there and comments on shit, you should never let that affect you. When you lose your cool, you look like a fool. In
I like that.
baseball, football, every single sport. Simple. You should be in better control of your emotions, because anytime you go behind the microphone like that, it's not like that's your first interview. Anytime you go behind the microphone, imagine just like, okay, I'm just here checking boxes and getting back to doing what I do. And like,
When you lose the cool, you look like a fool. I like it.
Tua's to and from vehicle from the game is the ambulance. I mean,
I knew X was going to say some shit like that.
Just
You gotta-
can't.
hold on,
Sorry.
Tua quoted Will Smith, LOL. Keep my name out your effing mouth. We just need Chris Rock to be the recorder. So to the recorder, so Tua could open hand slap him.
The reporter.
Yeah.
There.
He'd be out with a wrist injury, 8 weeks.
Now, Alexander sent us here 2 videos.
Did you hear
Alexander sent us 2 videos.
Oh,
from the start.
That's Alexander. We know him. He
From
looks
the start of
unhappy.
it does.
He looks
It
like,
does look like he's
he looks like he's already fed up with the Tua talk.
No, he looks
we
like
haven't even started the season. It's going to be even better. I can't wait.
I like Alexander. He's a nice guy.
I do too.
TJ and Grumpy, I'm going to tell you this right now.
Hold on. Why is Son X not included in this? Why is it just TJ?
Son X ain't said shit the whole show.
No, I've been
his transportation between the game and his house is a fucking ambulance. What do you mean? X hasn't said anything. Are you kidding me?
They're just right there.
And he also said that if he slapped the reporter like Will Smith did, he would have went on IL with a broken wrist for 8 weeks.
I was trying to get this pulled up as X was saying that.
just
It didn't
too
register. Right here, he's almost T-bowing. He's almost got.
I'm
the
jealous
T-bow
though
going
of
on.
Alexander. Look at how much hair he has, TJ.
More than I.
I mean, he's even got it like in a little bun in the back there.
I wish I had more hair. That'd be nice.
Okay. What Ryan Clark said was he was completely in the wrong. I'm sorry. Wrong. Okay? You don't body shame somebody, especially a grown man. A grown man. He's just a dirtbag and a scumbag for doing that.
I don't know if he's really joking around right now, being serious. I don't know.
I get body shamed all the time.
I don't know if he's being serious.
And I'm glad he apologized because he needed to apologize.
Hold on.
So I'm sorry.
Okay, you know, like when Phil Kessel comes into camp looking fat and out of shape, and they always call him
Everyone
he's
talks
eating
about
too
it.
much. He's eating too many hot dogs and hamburgers,
Donuts.
and he's drinking too many freaking
Pepsis.
Diet Cokes and Pepsis or whatever the hell drink he's drinking.
Here's some- Zion Williamson.
Another one.
Williamson. How many times has he been body shamed because he is extremely overweight for a basketball player? He is.
He's fat.
How many times have people called him fat, needs to lose weight, coming in way too heavy?
He does.
Can't do his job, can't stay healthy on the floor because he's too heavy. Multiple times. How many times has he come out and said, "Stop telling me that I'm big"? He never has.
Because he knows he's fat and overweight.
Here's the thing. You are paid
To
$9
perform.
million a year, I think, Tua is making, to be a professional athlete. The least you can do is show up in shape. Now, here's the thing. He gets a little bit of a pass, maybe from me, because I don't know what his offseason was like coming off the concussion. I don't know. So maybe he couldn't train like he has in the past, but he was absolutely out of shape. There's no denying that. He should have, and like I said, maybe because, when you have concussions, sometimes you can't exercise because you get the symptoms back and then it sets you back at square one. But if not, he should be more professional and get in shape. That's why you're getting paid to be the best you can be. I mean, it's just a bad luck. I mean, he's got big ass, bigger than it has been. Absolutely.
He definitely did not look the same this year coming in as he looked in years previously.
That's
He
right.
absolutely looked like he was heavier.
Like
Absolutely.
Derek
He
Carr
looked
this
like
year.
His rookie season or his second year season, he looked like a twig out there. He was smaller, especially when he played at Alabama. He was smaller. I get it. You put weight on, coming playing in the pros, they're going to make you a little bit bigger, but not that big. He never looked that big.
I mean,
absolutely not.
I don't know how much protein he was getting from eating 6 bags of chips a day, but probably not enough.
I'm going to say this too. Like, for example, you look at Derek Carr this year. I think he came in shape, really great shape. I will say this, looking at how great of shape he's in now, I'm like, why the fuck did you show up such in shitty shape last year?
Because guys get comfortable in the situation they're in. Derek Carr's
It's just
been
like
there
in life.
Right.
Yep.
Derek Carr's right. Exactly. Derek Carr's played for the Raiders for what, 10 years? He was settled there. So you don't take it as serious. All of a sudden, I got to go to another team. I got to maybe potentially fight for a spot. I got to get in shape.
Yep.
That's what separates the greats, the true all-time greats from because all these guys can play, all of them. We bag on Tua sometimes, but he can play football. But what separates the true greats from, just the ham and eggers are dedication to craft. It's so important. It's so important.
All right, I want to listen to what else Alexander has to say.
You guys are wrong for agreeing with Ryan Clark says and accepting what Ryan Clark says. I'm sorry. TJ and Grumpy.
Okay, I want to hear the second video. Hold on a second.
Another terrible take by you guys. I listen to you guys all the time. I have nothing but the utmost respect for you guys. But you, Son X, and TJ, and you, Grumpy, terrible takes again about Tua. Terrible.
I like how now Son X has been lumped in. I'm fine with that. I'm happy with that. Now that Son X has been lumped into the Shane game, I'm fine with that. That's fine. Alexander, we love you too.
I tried. Here's the thing. I tried to make an excuse for Tua potentially. I did. Maybe the concussions carried on longer than we thought, and he didn't have a chance to work out. But I know he was learning how to fall and try to do jujitsu. He did fall last week. We showed it,
I believe.
But his head did not bang on the ground, so that is progress. But his ass is big.
I'll say it's the same thing as it was for Luke Kuechly. Like, Luke Kuechly needed to retire when he did. He had so many concussions. He'd been hurt multiple times. It comes to a point you just need to stop playing. And I think Tua was almost at that point. If he gets hurt again this season, he needs to seriously consider about retiring. He does.
He should retire as soon as the next concussion hits. I don't give a shit if it's next year.
This will be his third?
No, this will be his fourth.
Okay,
he had the back injury, he had the concussion, and he had the other one after that one, I believe.
He never had a back injury. It was all concussions. Come on.
That's what I'm saying.
The year
back
before,
injury.
What was the year before? Was it a knee? I mean, he's always hurt. He's always hurt.
He dislocated hip at Alabama. He had both ankles injured at Alabama. He had the finger and hand injuries at Alabama. Shoulder injuries.
Something. It's always something. That was the knock on him coming out of college.
Hurt a lot.
Always hurt. Always hurt.
Yep, absolutely was.
And when you play a physical game like that, you can't be like this. You can't be hurt.
Yeah, and his line has to be good. I don't think he can take a lot of shots. I mean, honestly, if you're a Dolphins fan and he goes down, get up. That's what you're thinking. Tough to watch a game.
It's the same thing with Gronk.
Right.
Gronk is the same way. Gronk hurt all the freaking time. Great player, hurt all the time. You didn't know if he was going to be available getting hit.
He had legitimate injuries, though.
Yeah.
From guys chopping his knees and, all that stuff.
Elbow injury, shit like that.
Helmet to helmet. I mean, he had that stuff all the time.
D-cut there, Grumpy. Says Tua's going to be working at Waffle House in 2 years. Oh, no.
Looks like was interning there this summer.
Oh, no.
he was the flavor tester.
Oh, no. Tua clearly has some brain damage. Oh, no.
No, I don't think so.
I don't think so. Drew says, TJ, I don't know if you heard this, but yeah, the same classic Sonic fan retired from social media 5 days ago. Show me. I got to see what his thing is. I didn't even know he had a social media. I just thought it was like one clip he had and you just kept reusing it. But maybe he's had other things too that I wasn't sure of. Drew Grumpy, I guess Bussy Boy doesn't have YouTube Premium. Oh, there it is. Bussy Boy here says, actually, Drew, that comment from the NFL commercial was what we just wanted, or we just watched. Let's see here. Grumpy. Drew L.
LOL, you're full of shit, Grumpy. When did I draft Trey Lance? LOL. I thought you drafted him last year, Drew.
Okay, Grumpy.
I think you were whining about him like a bitch last year.
Look at Grumpy. He's on a tear.
I bet you we could look it up. I bet you we go back and look up last year's draft and see who Drew drafted.
Yeah, I don't know, and I don't care. Joe said here, go back and look. Russell Wilson and Justin Fields. Oof, bad selections. Oh, Justin Fields. Yeah, he played Justin Fields. I remember that. God, I miss the old Sports Center. They had that for me. Bring it back. Oh God. Oh, he got grumpy. He got grumpy.
What would Tua score on the Wonderlic test these days, Grump? Well, I'm glad they got rid of it. I guess a 3?
No, he'd score fine. Here's the thing. He definitely would score higher than some. Come on, there have been some really low Wonderlic.
He'd score higher than CJ Stroud.
What did he score? Well, that's true. What did he score? I don't know what he did score.
I don't even think they I don't know. Let's see.
I think they had it when he went. I think they just discontinued it this year. I don't know what
Brief
he's
comments, please, Grumpy.
Scored a 19.
I think the highest Wonderlic score ever was.
Sorry,
Peyton
scored a
Manning.
13.
He scored a 13, and then he took it again. Oh my God, your player scored 13 on the test prior in the NFL Combine. He took it again, and he scored a 19. Not great.
Savage Jedi Rusty Spooner's back said farmers' omelets are awesome.
There it is. The most successful breakfast here, Grumpy, by Drew L.
Take some Cheerios and milk, then you heat up in the microwave for 10 minutes.
Ugh, no, he's nuts. What,
Ugh.
hold on,
10 minutes?
Drew, they need to check Drew's basement. What? You
Oh,
cannot
shit,
put milk
they
in
need
the
to
freaking
check
microwave.
Drew's basement.
Milk in the microwave for 10 minutes? No, he's
It would be just exploded. Everything would have bubbled.
You
all
might as
over.
well just put it in a pot and put it on the stove.
Yeah.
Mario says here Hernandez's number was retired this year. Jonathan Taylor doesn't want to go to Buffalo. Savage Jedi Rusty Spooner says here Cook, Elliott, and Taylor in the NFC East is crazy.
Yeah, Cook's on the downside. Elliott's definitely on the downside. Taylor's good. Sports media always lie, TJ.
Yeah, they do sometimes here.
Drew said
L.
Diggs might be the biggest crybaby wide receiver in the entire NFL. I get he wants to win, but Jesus, dude, this is second time now that he's doing these shenanigans. Yeah, he did the same thing to get out of Minnesota. Same thing.
Stephon Diggs, go to the Cardinals. Laughing my ass off. Oh, no.
Yeah.
Here you go. Alexander Grumpy. Oh,
Stephen A is a clown. He doesn't know shit about football. Well, obviously, he doesn't know anything about basketball either because he said that Damian Lillard, his knee was so bad or something was his hamstrings were so bad that he couldn't even get up out of a chair. He had that on good, the same type of thing. I have it on good thing. So Damian Lillard just came out and did a thing with him doing squats up and down, up and down, up and down. He didn't say anything. He just put it out there and just tagged Stephen A's thing and just said,
that's the way to do it.
He didn't say anything about it. He just showed he could do it.
Jonathan Taylor is sitting in Buffalo's lap as per usual. Buffalo is going to rely on trash ass James Cook. Savage Jedi Rusty Spooner says, "Let's go Jets." Let's go. I know good nickname for Tua. It's Hibachi, says Drew. Oh my God, it's because he's got noodle arms and he's got scrambled egg brain. No, look at this. Okay, come on. Oh shit, he says that's 10 bad takes. You're kidding. Okay, you're kidding me right now, guys. You're joking.
Oh my God, what was the one from
Rusty
Rusty Spooner? Tua is one good hit away from being Terry Shavo. Oh my gosh, you know who that is?
No, it's Terry Shivo, Grumpy, not Shavo.
You know who that is?
No.
It was the guy. It was the lady in Florida who was brain dead, and they had the huge political discussion on should they be allowed, because one person wanted to keep him alive, the other person wanted to pull the plug. So should we pull the plug or keep him alive? Does the husband have the right or the family? And that's what it was. It was a huge thing on national stage there in politics. Yeah. Oh my God, John Rusty Spooner, Jesus Christ. Oh,
we didn't say that, Alexander. We did not say that.
I'm the comments are crazy. Tua, oh no.
Tua's Latin for flag.
I will say this. It's going to be fun. I hope Tua plays well. You know, I'm eating a little bit of shit. Because here's the thing. It's not good if he plays like shit. No, and when he's healthy, he'll play well.
Absolutely.
We'll eat our words if he plays
I think he's going. I think I told you last show, I think he's going to be healthy the whole year. That was my hot take. He's going to be healthy, play the whole year.
Good luck.
It is a hot take.
It is a little bit hot. Tua is going out like J.D. Salinger. Wow.
I don't know who that is.
Oh, boy. Here we go. He wrote The Catcher in the Rye. He wrote The Catcher in the Rye, J.D. Salinger.
Oh, gosh. I don't know how that went. The cat literally stepped on that. I'm just happy. My little brownie.
My little brownie says, when does NFL season end again? Prepping myself. My little brownie loves the NFL.
TJ, that
like
cat
February.
has used the soundboard more than you have.
Or as many times as I have today. We're both 1 for 1.
Now, I didn't know Alexander's breaking news here. The Dolphins have a handshake contract deal done with Taylor. Last step is the trade.
Well, hey, that's a big plot. Here's the thing. We talk about that. I think that maybe puts the Dolphins' second best team. If Tua stays healthy, I think that puts them ahead of the Bills. Wouldn't you? That is the toughest division in all of football. I think the Jets are the best still. I think the Dolphins are second. I think the Bills are the third best. The Bills haven't done a damn thing. I think the Bills, if the Dolphins get Jonathan Taylor, I think that the Bills are going to be in serious trouble. The Bills have not done anything to improve the team. They're going to be in trouble.
It's Tua. Everything depends on Tua staying healthy.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. Mike White has looked good in training camp. I think he made the best decision out of all the guys changing teams is Mike White going to Miami. There's nobody behind him. If Tua gets hurt again, he is the starter. And he showed with the Jets he can play. I don't know how good he is. He looked good in a small, 5-game sample size. He looked really freaking good, so he's great. But, I don't know how good he is long term, but certainly he looked good when he was in there last year.
He's a hell of a lot better than Trey Lance. I can promise you that.
Oh,
and Brock Purdy, too.
No.
Oh my God, the dude folded the other guy like a chair. Yeah, dude, we broke it down last episode on Sunday where he just beat the living piss out of him. Trying to just get through a few selected comments because a few things we still want to talk about here. I'm just looking for things with like question marks in them or okay.
I didn't know Tua was in a movie.
What movie is that?
He was in Unbreakable. The kids. It should have been the kids. They called me Mr. Glass.
Oh yeah. Two is Mr. Glass. Okay, there it is. Andrew Luck is another case of retiring early due to excessive injuries. Yep, he retired today, 9 years ago. Or however
9 years ago.
It wasn't 9, maybe it wasn't 9 years. I'm probably fucking that up. He retired at 29 years old, so I'm screwing that up. He's not 38, is he? Probably not.
No, I don't think
I think it was like 7 years ago, though.
No, it couldn't have been that long, is it?
Pretty
I think
sure.
it was like 4 or 5.
No, it's longer than that.
How long they've been looking for a quarterback in Indianapolis? It might be 5 years ago.
Wow.
It might be 5 years ago.
August of 2019. So we're looking at 4 years.
4 years.
4 years. Okay.
4 years.
Feels like it was longer than that.
It does. Out of sight, out of mind.
Yeah.
I sent you Sammy's retirement post.
That's the guy who likes to yell. Aaron G says, let's go Lions. Aaron, I tell you, Dan Campbell, baby. Dan Campbell. A Bussy boy, Grumpy.
I'll be watching them take on the Panthers tomorrow.
How come nobody makes any videos about the horrible things that are said about TJ's hairline? Or maybe how we lambast him for his inability to read comments. Maybe he's dyslexic.
Oh,
yeah,
God.
nobody's coming to TJ's defense when we're ripping him for all that shit.
No, and I don't care either.
Rusty Spooner says, you're awesome, Grumpy and TJ. Let's go Islanders.
There it is. Bussy Boy said here, I've made it clear that I'm only 32 years old and bald. Maybe I have a medical condition. Somebody should make a video calling the guys out for making fun of me. What about everyone in the Discord that makes fun of TJ for having autism? I don't have autism. Drew L. Grumpy says, I thought
we made fun of him for having dyslexia. Yes, that's true.
JP says here, this marathon should have more thumbs up than this, folks. Yeah, leave your thumbs up. Hit the thumbs up, guys. Thumbs up buttons. TJ, you better send me an email after this podcast. Yes, I will. Yes, if you're interested in joining the Fantasy Football League, it's called Islanders Fans United at gmail.com or message us on Twitter. Probably that's
Islanders Fans United.
Yes, at gmail.com.
At gmail.com. Islanders Fans United.
What is it, Grumpy?
Islanders Fans United at gmail.com.
Islanders fan. Okay, that's okay. There it is. I just want to say goodbye to Nicholas. Oh, who's Nicholas?
I don't know.
Oh, hold on, X. What are you waving there for?
I don't know. Grumpy already said my name multiple times on the show today.
Just once. What's your old name?
Holden Old Timers. It's all right.
Okay, we're here at the end, guys.
It's not like TJ doesn't say it.
I don't.
You both say, you both have absolutely said it before.
I've said it before in the past, but nowhere near as frequently as Grumpy has. Come on. All righty. What do you want to say there, X, before we wrap things up? Or Grumpy first, What do you want to say before we wrap things up, Grumpy?
I want to say love and laughter to everyone who listens and even those who don't. From TJ, the Grumpy Old Man, and Son X.
X, what do you want to say before we wrap things up?
Just want to thank everybody for coming out, listening to the show as always. Had a blast with you guys.
Had a good time sitting in his chair, not commenting at all today. except for a couple of cheap shots.
I did do some two cheap shots. I did. And I just want to say we'll see you all next time, baby.
Next time.
Thank you so much, guys. This Sunday we're going to be going live, but we're going to be live streaming the fantasy football draft. So make sure you email us if you're interested. IslandersFansUnited@gmail.com. Thanks so much, everybody, for tuning in. We'll see you guys on Sunday for the fantasy football draft. Thank you, Grumpy. Thank you, Son X.
My pleasure.
Thank you.
Let's go live, by the way, real quick. We'll go live before the draft starts, a little bit before the draft starts, so we can have the friendly banter that goes on and the shit talking can take place.
Okay, so that means you're going to have to be ready like really early.
Yeah. 2 thumbs up.
Okay.
Anyway, alrighty. See you guys. Bye.
See ya.